Oh, shit. It's a good sound clip for the season.
I look at the computer say, Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say fuck me for? Nelly.
Look at that kicker. That's a big, thick boy kicker. I think it's 61 yards. Let's see if you get it, boy. Yep, 61. Going for you. SEC. Let's go. Make it good. It's good. The kick is good. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. Oh, go wild in that place. Go wild. Oh my gosh. That is wow. Man, I like that thick boy kicker. I want him.
I know you saw that game earlier with the Cowboys, so I just wanted to stop by on my way home. Complete blowout. Yeah, you're in Cowboys Nation. I don't think you know where you're at. America's team, baby. You're in Cowboys country now. All right? I don't know where you came from. It's Cowboys country over here. So you saw that? You saw that today. Man, woo! What can I say? Hey, we did that in our home. It's our home game. Now I'm in front of your home. Check this out. Yeah, go Cowboys, baby.
My little snow bunny be getting active too, man. So, you know what I mean? I know he be doing this thing. Oh, that's
your nickname? That's your nickname? You don't call him C-Mac?
Look at your face was like, what the?
Who's Snow Bunny? You don't call him C-Mac. You call him
nah,
the little Snow Bunny.
I call that's my little snow bunny cuz, man. He be doing this thing and
Guess what? We got
I'm big. Yeah.
5 yards.
Go ahead. Bro, y'all need help, bro. Who told y'all that? Who told you? J-Mo, that's your fault.
Who is it? Daddy? That's Daddy?
And it's goddamn bingo over there. Goddamn bucks.
You gonna make it sore with that gun. You gonna make it, yeah, because that's a bruise. It ain't just no soreness, it's a bruise. You gonna aggravate it with the gun. Yeah, just moving, just stretching it. I graduated exercise science. I'm gonna list something, damn it.
What keep you motivated, though? Because, like, people like you don't ever get tired.
Tired of what? Winning?
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the time. Roll!
The MVP front runner. If anybody else got to say something different about that, then come see me. I'm right here in Beemore outside the bank. If you got an issue with that, come see me. I'm about that. Big trust. Woo woo. Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
All right, so why do you continually try to get me to say something that doesn't respect one of them? I'm not going to, so quit asking.
You all right? Why? Nick Saban retiring? Huh? Nick Saban retiring. What? It's on ESPN. Oh, no.
Hey, Connor, Nate, it's Shane Wells with CNBC. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm going to talk about money because we are the business network and the business of the UFC and all that
I'll take
sort of
over
stuff.
from here, Nate. You can bounce. take a coffee break, Nate. And by coffee break, I mean bring me my coffee.
No. They want you to give us a quick count to 10, both of you gentlemen, if you don't mind, just if you wouldn't mind counting to 10.
Nate can only count to 5. 10. Count to 5, Nate, will you, if you can?
You count.
You with that coffee.
Count. How about
and hurry up with that coffee.
Intentional grounding, offense number 7. 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here. 10-yard penalty and a loss of down. Second down. That is the best line I've ever heard out of official.
Go Bulldogs!
Yale Bulldogs.
Wow.
Not so fast, midget. Not so fast. Midget. Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast. I go with Harvard. What's the matter?
What's the most fun thing you did this summer? Play Call of Duty.
Keep your eye on Auburn's Haley Fagan in the handshake line. Puts her hand down while walking by the Florida coaches, and the head coach, Tim Walton, pushes Fagan in the shoulder right there, and she pushes back. Watch it again. Now you leave somebody hanging a little bit there. So that's not going to happen, and he misses and pushes on the shoulder, and she shoves right back. Player against the coach.
I don't know. I just throw the ball on the ground. Coach say, hit ball, see ball. I'll throw the ball on the ground. I'll get it up. And we win the game, baby. And we win the game. Thanks to the team, though. Thanks for the team. Thanks for the team. Good job. Remember that. Thanks for the team. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about us. It's about our family.
Are you allowed to date other members of the team, or do you have to wait till the season is over?
What? No, there's nobody on the team like that.
So you must realize that you have many fans out in Austria. They see you and they just would do anything to kind of spend a night with you. What do you say to those guys?
I'm not gay, so I'm not going to spend any night with any guy. So
do you have a message to Austria's gay community?
Yeah, I'm not gay, so don't come looking for me.
If you head to the Ravens YouTube channel, you can get a really good look at what that...
I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm tired of this. It's been 7 years of the same shit. Tired of this shit.
Are you in this game? Let him handle it. Let him handle it, damn it. Let him handle it. Let him handle it. Oh, you shut the fuck up and let him handle it. Don't tell me nothing, man. You understand? Get it off the fucking sideline. Pushing on my... You don't push on my damn...
Guys, and press it out. Reach the arms up. Puff your chest. Arch the upper back. Look back. Good. And bring it. Oh. You guys.
Take a few more here for Lamar. Mike Jones? Lamar, there was that point in the season where you guys lost 3 straight, 4 or 5.
Mike Jones. Mike Jones. That's it. Mike Jones. That's it right now. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right.
I don't even know what to do. Wrestling? How much was it?
I don't know. 721. That's strong. I know you did.
$721.
Oh my. Oh.
What the?
Are you a cat or a dog guy?
Neither.
Really? Do you have any pets?
I have a dog, but I don't.
But you're just not a cat.
It's technically not. It's not my dog, but it's my dog.
Yeah. All right. So you're more of a dog guy than a cat guy.
No.
Are you just not a pet guy?
I don't like pets.
I'm with you, Devontae. What the heck? He doesn't like pets either.
We're on the same page.
Why? Why don't you like pets?
You're a nuisance.
Yeah, I just don't. It's just sloppy.
They're sloppy.
Yeah.
Some dogs are sloppy. Some dogs don't slobber, and they're not sloppy at all.
No, all dogs are
You just need to meet the right dog, Devontae.
Yep. Hey man, how's it going? Are you Jake?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so someone called in reference to your Facebook post.
The eagle floss, man.
I know. So
I'm fine. The eagle floss and the dogs are barking.
I got you. You don't plan on hurting yourself?
No, the fucking Jalen Hurts threw 3 goddamn. Turn the ball over 6 times, man.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. I appreciate it. All right. Take it easy.
Are you going to school tomorrow?
I don't know.
Is he going to school tomorrow?
No, he ain't making it. What do you get out of competition with the defense?
Can I say something about your outfit, though? You got a lot of bananas on. I would not put on that many bananas on you. You must be a banana guy, I'm assuming, right?
Ask him where you buy it from.
You really want to know?
Yeah. No, you didn't.
Did you know that people shot that?
I didn't actually. Hey, man, if you like it, I love it, brother.
I'm like, bro, Cowboys supposed to be playing tonight. What the fuck is going on? I got my hat on, I got my jersey on, I got my forces on, I got my swag on, I done prayed to my Jesus, everything.
Damn, I gotta go out here for hands. Now I gotta go out here for hands. Damn! Hey, good? Alright, catch your breath, get that back out there now. Ain't nothing but a little snot. Little snot coming up out of them. I need to put this on my head. I ain't trying to get sick now. Damn! Damn wind. Option route. No. Damn, why my hands so loose? I'm cold as hell. My hands froze. Take my ass inside. It's cold to them. That's a bruise. It ain't just no soreness, it's a bruise. We're gonna aggravate it with the gun. I'm gonna talk to that. I graduated exercise science. I'm gonna listen something. Damn. You getting your ass out here, you finna block. I ain't blocking. No, you getting your ass out here, we finna block. I ain't blocking. Blocking the date.
I'm not blocking. They're both seeing the same thing in the courtroom. What's these guys?
No, Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yeah. Look at Littleton.
Just egging him on.
He's mocking his argument.
I've been to Charlotte twice. I've been to Raleigh. I've been to Raleigh twice. Raleigh.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
That's how you say it? How you say it again? You for
Yeah.
real? But it's spelled R-A-L-E-I-G-H.
Raleigh.
That's Raleigh.
Close enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she was nice too, huh?
He's just looking at the Kansas sideline. Right there. Now that's inappropriate. That's inappropriate. Now the slant to Williams, and he spins his way into the end zone.
I'm gonna go to Cancun like everybody told me to do, and I'm gonna enjoy myself because I don't have nothing else to do, so I'm taking myself there.
Here we go. Hey, what is hot? Hey, Turbo, hey, kid. Hey, what is hot? I knew how important this was for our team. Our team chill. I knew how.
Run, man. Run the ball. Quick.
Promise we won't let you get sacked no more. So sorry that we got you hurt.
Joe Burrow, Heisman Trophy winner. Does this look like a Heisman Trophy winner?
Right, it does. Show it to him.
Show everybody. What would you tell this kid right now?
Looks like a national champion.
Get.
That's the dog mentality.
This is high rate fucking robbery. Man, I'm trying to get some of this gas back. Wow. Hey, you think if I go in there and tell them that I put the wrong gas in here, they give me a refund?
Where we at? Back at the crib, yeah.
I am from Florida, bro. I am not supposed to be in this right here. Man, the gas station trying to get gas. Well, where in the world? Take me back home, man. Detroit, I love y'all. I love playing for the Lions. But bro, I need to go to home.
You're late, baby, late.
Put on the Alabama shirt. You just won the SEC championship.
You almost said. You know what you almost said.
Let me tell you something. Don't ever let that scarf sit down anywhere. You might not ever see it again. It won't even be a question about who took it. I'm gonna send you ransom photos with my face and with the scarf wrapped around my head like the Taliban. You're just ridiculous.
No, you are a spoiled brat. You're over here pouting.
You were just ridiculous.
You're pouting.
You know what the word ridiculous means?
Can you spell ridiculous?
Yes, K-A-Y-L-A.
Ridiculous spells Annette.
No. You acting this way this close to Christmas.
Oh no! Don't you turn into this grandma thing that you got going on over here.
If you had one, you just wouldn't.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. Oh. Well, that was the Miller. Watch this, dude.
Just now.
Damn.
What the?
Duh, he bought that like.
I've never seen
quick.
Oh no.
Oh shit! I see Reggie Bush.
And I had to go back and replay this because what the fuck is she crying for, boy? That bitch must have bet her soul on this game. Then watch this next white lady come up. Boy, she act like somebody killed a pet.
I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we're so far past that, to be honest with you, but that's obvious. I mean, you just want to piss me off going into this week.
And roll tide. Thank you. Roll tide. Roll tide. That's what. Roll tide. Roll tide.
Man, I hate Tennessee because first of all it's Tennessee, and I just hate them because they low down, they dirty, they some snitches, and I hate Philip Farmer. I hate their colors. I'm not a dog person. I just hate Tennessee, man. Like, and I hate Neyland Stadium. It looks like a garbage truck worker convention, and I hate all their quarterbacks. I hate Tennessee, man.
Describe what you feel about the colors too.
It reminds me. It's not that orange that you can stand. See, I hate Tennessee more than I hate Auburn. I just dislike Auburn. I hate Tennessee. See, Tennessee's colors is that throw up orange. It's not that orange you can sit with. It's that puke inside of a pumpkin orange. And I don't like pumpkins. So I really don't like Tennessee, man. I can't stress that enough, man. And they losers. They sore losers because they're not Alabama. And I hate Tennessee, man.
That was beautiful, man. Probably best interview I've done all year. Thank you, man.
I can't stress that enough. I hate them.
I mean, his ability to just escape and make plays on the run, I mean, it's just outstanding what I've seen. And just the defensive side of it as well. They're definitely going to be a concern for me going forward if Alabama doesn't get their offensive line straightened out.
Chelsea, that's a great point, because if you look at Alabama's
60 seconds, right?
I can't wait to get paid again.
Oh, baby. You know what? I'm still happy. Oh, there it is, buddy!
What is up, Pooh Man?
Rolex wearing. Woo! Diamond ring wearing. Woo! Kiss stealing. Woo! Wheeling dealing. Woo! Limousine ride. Woo! Jet flying. Woo! Son of a gun. Woo! And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. They give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo!
All right. Oh, what's What's up, Reaper? Good to see you. Let me play your drop.
I keep on running back to you. Baby, I don't know why you wanted me so bad. You say you love me, no one above me, and I was all you had.
Alright. I need to get a drop for BDB and for Big Natty. Big Natty, yours is going to be a racing one for sure. So I need to make a note of that. There's a few others that I forgot that I needed to make a note of, and I done forgot. But that's just the way it goes. Okay, let's see. Y'all, I was in a rush. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was in a rush to get here. I barely made it. And to be honest, I really didn't quite make it, just because I don't have everything loaded up on here. Like, all my clips aren't queued up and ready to go. I was hoping to get that done in time, but I didn't. I didn't get that done in time, but it's no big deal. It's nothing that's not quick and easy. But I do have my play call sheet for what we're going to be doing in the show today. So, of course, opening up with a motivational video. And I believe the motivational video that we're opening up with is it's either going to be from the Black Couch or it's going to be BDB. One of the two. One I'm opening up with, and then one I'm closing out with. So, those are where those motivational videos are going to come from today. And then, going to get into the George Pickens deal, Kirk Cousins deal, Jaden Ivey's wife, which is the thumbnail for the live today. Jaden Ivey's wife speaking out. Jalen Hurts update, Puka Nacua and Tiger Woods and Rehab. And then we might get back into the Michael Jordan topic again, because I told you all that I have more to say on that. So we'll see what all transpires in today's show. Let me see if I have... Okay, yeah, I have my chat up. Okay, yeah, I do have my chat up. But hello, Reaper. And BDB. And of course, Pooh Man. Thank you for dropping my links. Y'all, I keep forgetting. I do have a Rumble if y'all want to go follow me there, because with Rumble being more flexible, it might be a better option for us in the future. So make sure you follow me there on Rumble, because we could be doing more on Rumble soon. Alright. I think that covers all of that. But let's go ahead and open up with the motivational video.
I'm telling you, people love the element of surprise. They love when you can always hit them with stuff that they don't expect. That's all I do with my channel. Like, everything I do, you guys will see it. It's to the point where people are asking me, like, BD, like, what's next? What you got for us? Like, what you got in store for us? And I always kind of like keep it a secret, because I don't want too many people to know. But when it's time, you'll know. But I always got my lab jacket on. Always. I don't ever take it off. I'll be like Walt from Breaking Bad.
So BDB in his live, he was saying some very motivational things that really impacted me, but talking about just always being in creative mode. And, you know, of course, there's some things that you don't want to reveal just yet. You want to have the element of surprise, and that's what keeps people attracted to you. That's what keeps people coming back, because they don't know what they're going to get from you, but they know they're going to get something good. So I really thought that was a great, encouraging message. Is to always be creative, always keep providing content that is an element of surprise. But I'm going to play that one more time for y'all.
I'm telling you, people love the element of surprise. They love when you can always hit them with stuff that they don't expect. That's all I do with my channel. Like, everything I do, you guys will see it. It's to the point where people are asking me, like, BD, like, what's next? What you got for us? Like, what you got in store for us? And I always kind of like keep it a secret, because I don't want too many people to know. But when it's time, you'll know. But I always got my lab jacket on. Always. I don't ever take it off. I'll be like Walt from Breaking Bad.
All right, I shared out BDB's channel in the chat, But this is where the motivational video for today comes from, is BDB. So go check him out. He gives, I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get. He does bring the element of surprise, because you could be getting some very encouraging words, and then also the music. He puts you onto some good music, some artists that you don't know. So if you ever get bored with like these mainstream artists and want somebody more like low key, go check out his channel. He'll really put you on to some good music, and he has a panel of judges, so it's a great atmosphere over there. He also does like interactive gaming. It's just a great environment over there, so check out his channel. All right, moving on. Oh yeah, LC, you're the other one that I needed to get a drop for. Man, I was just saying, I was like, there's a few that I'm missing that I still haven't got a drop for yet. And you're one of them, but I'm gonna figure something out. I'm all about music. Yeah, then go subscribe to his channel, and then of course, I believe you're already subscribed to CDT Beats, but yeah, go subscribe to BDB if you're not. Okay, so what's next? Go ahead and get into George Pickens. That deal.
Jerry Jones talked a lot at the owners' meetings, but one of those things was George Pickens and his contract. What's the latest situation with the Cowboys star wide receiver? And do you think there will be a contract extension? And if not, will George show up to training camp? I know that's a long way away.
I'm skeptical that there'll be an extension. It's early. It's April 2nd. But George Pickens, a long-term deal.
I think that's very interesting. So that kind of has to be worried. I mean, I've seen this time and time again with the Cowboys, right? So I'm not too worried. I'm used to it, true to it, not new to it. But it is a concern if they don't have someone they can rely on as a wide receiver. And I think George Pickens was that guy, because I've seen a lot of drop balls from CeeDee Lamb.
Till July, which tells you that there's a real probability that George Pickens will not be there for the offseason program. Now, if the two sides can figure out a long-term deal that I think is going to be very difficult, then that's great and good for both sides. They both get what they want. But if they can't, and I think it's more likely than not that they won't, now there's the possibility that we won't see George Pickens, who knows when, in the summer. He can get a long-term deal done.
That's good on his part. He's not going to be fined if he misses camp, because there's no deal right now.
Average a year. Other wide receivers are getting more. What's the number? Like, it's a tricky deal to do.
Yeah, but Jerry said he's got long-term plans for Mr. Pickens. Mm-hmm. He's got long-term plans. Yep. He does.
Here's my thing is, I believe, like, George Pickens is getting older, right? So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel. It'd be like another instance of, what'd you say? Posted in the Discord, the Raiders' son, Kirk cousin. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. He posted it in my Discord too. But, y'all, it's not as glamorous as what it sounds like. We're going to get into it. But that deal is not as glamorous as what people are thinking. They look at the number, 172, and they automatically think that's what he's getting. But you're going to learn that's not the exact number. But we'll get into it. We're going to cover it.
That's fine. Let me know when the deal.
All right, so there's that. Y'all, we didn't do the national anthem. What's up, Couch? Let me play your drop, and then we'll get into the national anthem. All right, there we go. Now, all rise for the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem.
On the Star-Spangled Banner, Fergie.
That our flag was still there.
All right, there we go. So, moving on. Now we're getting into the Kirk Cousins deal.
us now. Senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man.
Wait, wrong one. My bad.
NFL news that's only going to continue to cook. This morning, Kirk Cousins was signed to the Las Vegas Raiders. He is a man who's going to be brought in to teach Fernando Mendoza how to be an NFL quarterback, the things to do on the field, off the field, in the meetings, in the locker rooms, whenever you're taking the boys out. Now, we think Kirk and Fernando will be a good duo. Good tag team.
I think that's the best thing for a rookie QB. You guys have heard me say it time and time again. These rookie QBs need to sit under a veteran QB, so this is the best thing for him.
Him and Kurt Signetti have a similar, we're all kind of in the same football nerd atmosphere, it feels like. So we're pumped for them. We're pumped for the Raiders. And Kirk Cousins, once again, gets another guaranteed contract in the form of about $20 million, $8.7 million coming from the Falcons, $1.3 coming from the Raiders this year, and then a $10 million roster bonus 3 days into the 2027 season. But nobody's expecting him to actually play for that team. They'll just have to pay him that amount of money at that particular time. So the Raiders basically kick a $10 million roster spot to next year. They'll throw it in the trash because the salary cap probably only going to go up and to the right. They're paying him league min. He's going to mentor Fernando. Feels like a smart move for the Raiders if Kirk Cousins can play football good. There were some times last year where we saw him play football. He was not good. There were some times we seen him last year play football. He was good. Yeah. You take him back to the times in which he was in the Vikings offense with Kubiak as his coordinator. He was very good. So we assume he'll have success. We assume he'll be good, Kirk Cousins, and we assume this will be great for Fernando and the Raiders going forward. Now, when Kubiak coached Kirk Cousins, Hembo says good things happen. Good things happen. You know what else happened?
So there's that. And I believe the Atlanta Falcons have to pay him as well, which is where part of that money comes from. But here we go. This gets into more detail about that deal.
Joining us now, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty!
Shefty, do you have anything to say about darts, or would you like to get directly into Kirk Cousins becoming a Raider? And how long do we know this was going to be happening for?
Well, it had been talked about that he could wind up there, and him and Clint Kubiak worked together for 3 years in Minnesota. They were together there, and obviously the Raiders prioritized it because they're paying the guy a $10 million roster bonus that's guaranteed on the third day of the league year in 2027. They're going to pay him another $1.3 million this year, the veteran minimum, and the Falcons are paying $8.7 million. So it gets him up to $20 million.
So part of that money is coming from the Falcons
this year. So when you're being paid $20 million, that tells you the team wants you, and the Raiders did want him. And I think he's got a realistic chance to be the opening day starter. That's what the Raiders were looking for. They're looking for somebody to take the pressure off Fernando Mendoza, that they don't have to rush him along, that they can take their time, whether he's ready in week 1, 4, 16, whenever. They've got Kirk Cousins to man the fort until Mendoza's ready. And by getting this deal done, again, Kirk knows the system that Clint Kubiak has. Clint knows Kirk very well. Two men join forces, and he's the favorite to start on opening day now.
Yeah. So the deal, he's really only getting $20 million right now for this year. But all in all, like combined, I mean, he is going to be paid. But it's just not as glamorous as what people are thinking. And you can find more on that on the Pat McAfee show, too, because Adam Schefter went in depth with that. Okay, moving on from that Kirk Cousins deal. We're going to get into, exactly, LC. So it's not ever as glamorous as what people think. They just look at the number and they think, oh, that's automatically what he gets. But they don't get that, Oh, shout out to Reaper. Stop the show. Stop the show. We have Reaper hitting the Cash App. One more time for Reaper. One more time for Reaper, y'all. Shout out to Reaper for that. Thank you for hitting the Cash App. You know, y'all already know. I don't expect y'all to send me money. Like, sending people my way, telling people, hey, subscribe to Chelsea. That's more than enough. telling people to hit the like button, to, you know, get involved with our little Touchdown Tribe community. That's more than enough. But, you know, it doesn't, I'm not going to complain if you send me money too, because there is a lot of time and effort put into this, so it feels nice to be rewarded. Everybody likes to feel rewarded for the work they put into something. But like I said, it's not required. I just appreciate y'all showing up for me and being in the chat, liking, and referring people back to me, telling people, hey, go subscribe to Chelsea. That means a lot to me. How much is guaranteed? So he's going to be getting, with what he's getting from the Atlanta Falcons and plus whatever is in that contract with the Raiders deal, he's getting a total of $20 million. I believe he's getting a total of $20 million this year. So yeah. Yeah, shout out to Reaper, y'all. Shout out to Reaper. Big shout out. Thank y'all for showing him love in the chat. Okay, so moving on from that, now let's get into Jaden Ivey's wife speaking out, because this is getting interesting, y'all. Switch to the basketball screen here. So Jaden Ivey's comments on Instagram about his wife was this.
Those who are around me, those are my family members betraying because of what I spoke. The truth. Saying that I'm losing my mind. Saying that I'm crazy. These are my own family members. My blood.
Now,
man.
He's saying it's family members. He does mention his wife as well, but he's also including other family members. Keep in mind, his mother is a Notre Dame head coach for the women's basketball team. So I don't know how much she wants to get wrapped up in all of this. So they could be separating themselves from him right now. But he's talking about how his family's like setting boundaries towards him now, and it's getting interesting, y'all.
He's psycho. He's this, he's that. Those are my own household. That's why my wife in here, and she not even texting
Now,
me.
Reaper, she's not there's no, I mean, we don't know like if she's leaving. And I'm going to show you screenshots. Y'all, I went to her Instagram. Y'all know how I am. I'm going to investigate. But I went to her Instagram page and she spoke out about this, and I have those screenshots of what she said. So y'all, there's two sides to every story here. But we're going to get into it.
Those who are around me, those are my family members betraying because of what I spoke. The truth. Saying that I'm losing my mind. Saying that I'm crazy. These are my own family members. My blood. Man, he's psycho. He's this, he's that. Those are my own household. That's why my wife in here, and she not even texting me.
So he mentioned his wife is like at the house, not even texting him back. What is up, Quan? Good to see you here. So she mentioned, or he mentioned that like his wife's not even texting him, but I mean they are together. Now I do have the full live, the IG live on that one. It was like a 23-minute live. I got it down to like 17 minutes to cut out some of the silence that was in between the video, but I can show that later if y'all want to see it. But let me show y'all his wife now. So she got baptized recently. She was baptized. That's her, I'm assuming the pastor, and her husband. So she got baptized. She has, my bad, y'all, the full picture here. Oops. But she got baptized. She has certificates here with that. Now, This is her IG post, okay? So she shared this image and then she put this. We were communicating all morning of that day. People say things for attention. Do not be deceived. So she's claiming that they were in communication all day. She shared that post. Now she shared more because she has been getting harassed on Instagram now, which is where I disagree with him. I don't think he should have name dropped and brought his wife into this, because now it brings her into this mess of getting attacked. I don't think he should have. He could have just left it at family and left it at that. But since he brought her name into it, it's causing even more issues. But this shows the online harassment messages that she's been getting. She posted a ton of screenshots with that from, people who claim to be Christians that are attacking her, saying she's wrong for leaving him, which is not necessarily true, because here's this one. So she said this. These, she spoke on the DMs. These DMs and more over one lie spoke on my name. So she claims that he is lying, that he lied about what he was saying. Now, here's this full statement. She said, "If you know me, you know I have never once abandoned that man through all the trials, and I still haven't now." So she's saying that she has not left him. She's not left him yet. Through all the trials, she still remains with him. There is obviously a lot more going on, so leave your conspiracies and guesses to yourselves. Okay, and that was the end of the post. But she's saying that she's not leaving him. So could what they are all saying with the family and with his own wife be true, that it is maybe something mental? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is that. She's saying that that he is lying, and she is claiming though that she's not left him. She's even through all the trials, and I still haven't now. So she's saying that she has not left him, and it does make me wonder if there's not more to the story. But I don't know. If you think about, if you go to the Bible, y'all, we got to get a little bit religious with this, since that's the main point of this, between Jaden Ivey right now in the NBA, and now his family. The Bible does say, like, if you're unequally yoked, that it does create divisions. That's why it always says that you should marry somebody who's like-minded in your beliefs. And I'm assuming that it could it be an instance of it just being an unequally yoked situation, and now there's division? That's what I'm wondering, because I do have interviews. Now, Jaden Ivey's been doing interviews.
A lot of, people telling you that you're, not mentally stable, that someone's manipulating you, or that people are coercing you to believe these things. And I kind of want to just have you address that. Are these things true that people are accusing you of?
It's really, really sad. They don't say to somebody who's going to the clubs, "Are you crazy?"
He has a point, right? How come it's only when somebody proclaims their faith and they're speaking out against something that they don't agree with, that's the issue? They're the problem. They're the one that's crazy. They have the mental issues. But if somebody's going to a club and acting out and behaving however, because we're going to get into like Puka Nacua going to rehab over a crazy situation that happened to him, like that's fine. We're fine and dandy with that. But him speaking out on his beliefs, all of a sudden, that's a problem.
They don't look to somebody who, are you crazy, right? But to the Christian proclaiming the truth, right, preaching the gospel, I'm looked at as crazy and have mental illness, and I'm psycho, and I need help, and I'm crazy, but I love God, I love my family, my children, I love them, and will give my life for them and pour into them, and I'm gonna do the will of God in Jesus' name, and do His will, because that He may be glorified. Not my will be done, but His will be done.
Now, you got to take this with a grain of salt, right? Because not all those that proclaim to be in Christ are of Christ. So you have to take it with a grain of salt, I think. We don't know the whole story. We're not inside that house. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if what the other side is saying is true with what his family is claiming, or if what he's saying. We really just don't know. But I will say he does sound competent with what he's speaking, and we'll see more of these interviews where he's backing it up with the Bible, with scripture. Also, what's interesting too is the fact that he he and his wife, from the Black Couch mentioned, why isn't she holding interviews with him? I think it's more because there's clearly something going on, right? There's clearly some sort of division, because he's talking about how his family is now setting boundaries towards him because of his beliefs, and also now his wife, that whole situation. It reminds me a lot of Kanye West and what's the other one? One of the Kardashians. I never watched the Kardashian show, but what's the Kardashian that Kanye was married to? But she, it reminds me of that situation, because they had a whole crazy situation like this as well, where Kanye was, proclaiming to be of Christ, and, we see that might not have been the case, because how Kanye is acting. Kanye really is there's some sort of mental issue going on with Kanye. Okay, thanks, Reaper. Kim Kardashian. Okay, but that's what this situation is reminding me of. I don't believe, as of right now, I really don't believe that Jaden Ivey is someone like Kanye, but you never know. That's why I'm saying take everything with a grain of salt, because if it does end up being like a mental thing that could later come out, we're all gonna look foolish. But let's keep going, because here's the other interview.
If an NBA team called you today, of course you pray about it. I'm sure you're seeking the Lord on what you wanted, what the Lord has for your life. I know it's only been like 24 hours.
Amen.
But, all things considered, you have a desire to still play basketball.
Yeah, for sure. If that opportunity came, it doesn't matter if it's in the NBA. It doesn't matter if it's, I know they don't have it, but the CBA, if it's overseas, if it's it doesn't matter. It could be the African League. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm doing the will of God, abiding in Jesus Christ, that's what matters. That's what's gonna matter when I stand before God. That's what every player in the NBA is gonna be held to the same standard as me. The same standard. You're gonna be held accountable for everything that you do in this earth. Every word, every deed, every thought, you're going to be held accountable.
Now,
every action that you
what does his religion have to do with him wanting to play basketball? Stupid question from that podcaster. Well, I mean, he only asked the question because he's just wondering if he's going to continue, like if he wants to continue, which, I mean, him being a basketball player, I get why he asked the question, right? Because that's his life. That's why they're talking. That's like the main point of why they're there, is because he spoke out against the NBA being tied to I don't know all the acronyms, LGBTQ. I don't know. Wow, I don't know all those acronyms. But he, spoke out against that, and that's why they're there. So I get why he brought up the basketball topic. If it's mental, he might be better playing with Europe. Yeah, he gets into that, talking about all the teams he's willing to play for. If Jaden were any of religion, this discussion would not be happening. Yeah, that's true. If he was any, that's true too. But it's part of it.
That's wicked, you're going to be held accountable if you do not repent for those things. We're all going to be in the judgment seat of Christ. So I'm in the same standard as everybody else in the NBA, and so if the NBA, whatever's worldwide, whoever's seeing this, like I could play now and be, the Lord gives me the opportunity, if that's his will, then may his will be done.
Right.
Okay, so there's that. I do have the full IG post from where he spoke about his wife, if you all want to watch that. And he does get into more scripture, backing up his beliefs, which I think that kind of shows some competence there, because it does show that he is basing everything off scripture. But just let me know if y'all want me to play that. I shortened it to like 17 minutes. But just let me know what y'all want me to do. Let me play. I wonder if do I have my music on here? I didn't think about that. There we go. My CDT Beats music. Just let me know if y'all want me to play that full interview, or if y'all want me to keep it pushing. I can do whatever y'all decide. But like I said, he does get into more scripture, more details on the whole family. Alright, going once, going twice. Alright, I think we might go ahead and keep it moving. Chelsea, I'll say Kanye did do this when he has his mental breakdowns. Yeah, that's why I said, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, and I think the Kardashians probably caused a lot of Kanye's issues, but you got to take it with a grain of salt. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It could just be. I would just hate for it to be a mental situation, and he's using faith in this, just because he's not mentally stable. Because that does happen. You see it all the time. Like, you see it in those body cams that Coop shows, where people all of a sudden like come into faith and they just start speaking about Jesus. And so I just don't want it to be one of those situations. That's why I'm telling you all just to take everything with a grain of salt. But he does sound very competent and well spoken on this, but also so did Kanye. I mean, Kanye at first, he sounded that way to me. There is a big part missing in this, and I don't know what. Not my blank, but if he had claimed to love Allah, no one would dare question him. Again, just my humble opinion. I agree with you. I agree with you. I didn't even... Jaden... Yeah. That was what I was going to mention too, Erroneous C. Shout out to you for being here. But Erroneous C, I didn't even know he was married either. No, y'all, what's crazy is I didn't know he was married. And I didn't know he had 3 kids. So let me go back up. That's another thing that I forgot to mention. Whenever I was showing y'all the IG posts, right? So let's see. That's her getting baptized. I believe it's this one. So they have 3 kids. Y'all, they have 3 kids. That's what's missing. I'm missing my, looks like something's missing here. It's my ticker. But, yeah, I had no clue that he was married and that he had 3 kids. Her posts are very sterile and measured. What you mean by that? Like very calculated? Is that what you're talking about? Like very calculated? But yeah, it's crazy. You know, and another thing too, you guys, I meant to blur out the kids' faces because I did blur it out on my thumbnail. I don't like to include kids in anything, even though this is public. This is something she posted. It is public. Anyone can see it. You can Google it. You can find pictures of the kids. Like, it's public information. But I just try to keep the kids out of it. So I hate that. I forgot to, I didn't have time. I didn't have time to blur it out, but there that is. Oops, I just took away, y'all, I took away my basketball background. I like your quote of the day. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like to have my quote of the day. It's still the Deion Sanders one. You know, we also opened with the motivational video. I opened up with BDB, and from the Black Couch, I forgot to tell you that I'm closing out with one of your videos. So my closing motivational video will be from the Black Couch. Yes, scripted and cold. Now, I don't know. Did it sound scripted and cold? Because to me, part of it sounded not that cold, right? Because, I mean, she did clarify we were communicating all morning of that day. People say things for attention. Do not be deceived. So that part did sound cold, right? But she was getting harassed after he said what he said online. Because she screenshotted it and showed DMs, and then said that these DMs and many more over one lie spoke on my name. So she was upset. If he was lying about this, I get why she would be upset and be a little bit cold, right? Because she is claiming that, you know, over one lie spoke on my name. But this part did not sound cold to me. This is the part that I don't think sounded cold, is the part where she said, if you know me, you know that I have never once abandoned that man through all the trials, and I still haven't now. So she's saying she's sticking by him. Even if they're at odds, even if they don't agree on things, she's still sticking by him. She said that I still haven't now. So she hasn't left. I don't think that part's cold at all. I mean, I hope they get things worked out because of their family, right? I definitely support them staying together because they do have 3 kids. But man, they got a lot working against them now because they're at odds with their beliefs, it seems like. And now you have more people getting involved. Like the world is getting involved in this and speaking on this. So there's just a lot. There's a lot going on. They're going to definitely need like prayers counseling, all of that to get through this. But she said there is obviously a lot more going on, so leave your conspiracies and guesses to yourselves. But the part where she said that she's still standing by him, I mean, I don't think that's too cold. You know, she dialed 1-800-alimony. We'll see, right? We'll see. There's a possibility that that could end up happening still. You never know. Because, I mean, there's a lot working against them now. But the fact that she did say that she hasn't abandoned him once and she's stuck by him through all their trials, and she still hasn't now. So she's still, you know, she said she's still staying with him. So I don't know if she's hit that 1-800-alimony yet. I wouldn't expect her to get much since he's out of the NBA for now. But that was funny. Okay, so do y'all want to watch the full video of what he had to say, or do you want to keep it moving? I might just go ahead and play it. Let's see.
Glory to God. Blessed are those who fear the Lord.
You heard he said he better learn Chinese. Oh man, that's funny.
Blessed are those who are pure in heart. Blessed are those who thirst and hunger for righteousness.
So that part was a little odd to me, just going off saying that.
Man. You are who you serve.
Now this is where he starts to sound more competent to me.
You are who you serve, right? Doesn't everyone serve? Whether it be your mother, your children, whether it be you serve your bosses at your job, whether you serve sin, whether you serve righteousness. We all have
There's
a
Bible
choice.
verse. I can't remember which part it's from, but it says choose this day whom you will serve. And it gets into like serving all these other things or serving Christ. So choose this day whom you will serve. This is kind of what he's getting into right now.
We all have a choice to whom we'll serve today. Some of y'all might go sin today. Some of y'all might choose righteousness today. Right? So, you are who you serve. And whom you'll serve.
I do believe he's a new believer. But there is another scripture that says there's none good, no, not one. There's no one that seeks after Christ. It's all like anything good comes from Christ. And that I believe that's in Romans, but I'm going to continue to let this play.
If you sow to the flesh, you're going to reap destruction. If you sow to the spirit, you reap everlasting life, eternal life. Right? So you are who you serve.
Ooh, see, now this is good. The mind is a very fragile thing. I think he's suffering from an identity crisis and have seen things during this NBA lifestyle. That's a very good point, because there's another live that he did where he kind of got into all of his testimony, like the trauma that he's went through leading up to, before he found Christ and got saved, I'm assuming. But he does get into that, and it reminds me, this is why I compared it to Kanye West, and I said you have to take everything with a grain of salt, because it could very well be a mental health issue. But that's a very great comment. The mind is a very fragile thing. I think he's suffering from an identity crisis and have seen things during this NBA lifestyle. And I like, he does get into some of the things that the NBA players do, like with the cheating, with the drinking and going out and all of that. So, Chelsea, like you said, I've seen so many body cams where people having a mental breakdown, and yes, exactly. I forgot I said that a few minutes ago, but I did. I talked about, how we see in Coop's lives, body cams of just people going off on about religion, like just all of a sudden they're speaking about Jesus, and it shows their mental health issues. But yeah, you said people having a mental breakdown and goes religious route. I'll have to see a little more, and unless they have a history of religion. You can always tell the people who just became religious, they typically are overly preachy. Yes, that's without a doubt true. Erroneous, that is so true. Like, I can attest to that, right? I can attest to that, because I remember when I got saved, and y'all, I don't even know if I should say this, but my nickname in 8th grade was Bible Thumper, if that tells you anything. My friend Thomas nicknamed me Bible Thumper because I was telling everybody the scripture. I was that kid. And so you're right. Like, they do get overly preachy whenever they first come to know Christ. That's true. My face turned a little red, y'all, whenever I was telling that story. I got embarrassed.
Show it every day in your life. You show who you serve. Right? So those who know me, right? Those who are around me, those who claim they love me, right? They're my blood. But they show who they serve. Right? And that's why the Bible says, that's what Jesus says, he who does the will of my Father is my mother, brother, and sister. There was brothers, Jesus had brothers, and they turned their back on Jesus, his own blood brothers. His own blood brothers turned their backs on the Son of God. His own brothers. The word is true. Those who are around me, those are my family members betraying.
So this is what I was saying. He brought in the family members. So it's not just his wife speaking out on him right now. And the wife, like, keep in mind, the wife only spoke out because he made claims against her, and she's clarifying that it's not true, that they had spoke all morning, and not to believe everything you see, because there's two sides to everything. So she came out just because she was defending herself. It's a metamorphosis. Anytime you're new to something, you'll typically overdo. It's no different from, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. Yeah, I'm not going to say that word, but I know what you're referring to. But young kids, I'm going to call them, or young men, I'm going to call them young men. Young men trying to earn the respect and, yeah, I get what you're saying, Erroneous C. Very true.
Betraying, because of what I spoke, the truth. Betraying me, saying that I'm losing my mind, saying that I'm crazy, saying that I don't know the truth. These are my own family members who love me, my blood, those who raised me, saying that I don't know the truth, that I'm man, he's psycho. He's this, he's that. Those are my own household. All because of the gospel. All because I said the truth. That unrighteousness will not be let into God's kingdom.
Now, I'm not saying like what he's saying is not true or that I don't agree with him. I'm just saying that if we take into consideration the family, like the actions with what's going on with the family, and then his side, like you have to look at all sides of this, the full picture of it. Could they be saying that he's crazy just because he's speaking out against this and he doesn't agree with that lifestyle anymore? Very well could be the case. But could it also be like what Erroneous C was talking about, like a mental health and what I had been saying as well, the mental health aspect of it, and an identity crisis? Could it be that? So there's two sides to everything, and I'm hoping for the best for him. I really am. I'm hoping that it's, the latter rather than just him having some sort of mental breakdown or some type of crisis, identity crisis. What's up, Smoke and Talk? Good to see you here.
That's the truth. The Bible is true. Right? Not everybody's doing the will of God. Even those that are your blood, your family. Not everybody's doing the will of the Father. Those who are brethren, those who stand for righteousness, those who live, who are saints, those who do the will of the Father is my mother, brother, and sister. Those are the true brethren and sisters. Those who love God, those who keep His commandments. Right? That's why in the scriptures they say that that's why he says you're of your father the devil. He's telling hypocrites you're of your father the devil. He's not saying you are of your father. No, he's saying you are of your father the devil. It's two sides.
Now, that is in the Bible. I do agree with him on what he's saying because there is scripture to back it up. But I just thought about this, and I don't know why I didn't say this earlier, but think about the video that Coop showed earlier in his live I'm so glad that he played that in his live, about the mega churches and how they scam people. Like, it's really sad, but if you think about that, I really hope it's not a situation where this man is caught up in some sort of church that is taking advantage of him. So far what he's saying is scripturally correct, but there's a lot of times where Bible verses are taken out of context. I know he's a new believer, so he's more prone to getting caught up to that. But I really hope that's not the situation, is a church like taking advantage of him. I'm gonna keep it playing. What's up, Cree Cree? Yeah, working OT. We in overtime over here. It's an overtime game over here in this live.
It's two sides to this. It's either with the devil or with Jesus Christ. You can't you choose. You choose who you'll serve.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to read this. I call this the God spell. I was once an atheist, but now lean heavily towards agnostic that does believe in God. Believe in God's existence. Okay. Now this part really seems like he's having a mental episode, but I'm no psychologist, right? That's another thing I should clarify. I'm no psychologist here, y'all, but I'm just giving you like I'm pretty knowledgeable in theology, and I do I read a lot of psychologist books, and I have a friend who is a psychologist, and so I know a few things, but obviously I'm not certified in this. Honest question, if this were a WNBA player, would we be having this discussion respectfully? I think so. If we see an Angel Reese or any one of them come out and speak against even Caitlin Clark herself, like if we had seen one of them speak out against this, they're gonna come for her. They're gonna say something because they don't want you attacking the what's it called? LGBTQ. I think I got those acronyms right. See people struggle with this. Some people never recover from it. Truth. I haven't heard him express anything but disappointment around how his message is being interpreted. Yeah, and see that's why I said too from the Black Couch, like I'm bringing you guys two different sides of this, right? Like I'm saying that he very well could be a new believer in Christ, saved in a good scriptural expository style type of church. And expository, for those of you guys who don't know, expository preaching is where a preacher will go verse by verse so that a part of the scripture is not taken out of context. Because some people like to use the Bible, some preachers will use the Bible as a fortune cookie. They'll pick a verse and just start speaking without knowing the context of the scripture. This is why you want expository preaching. Somebody who goes verse by verse and they're not taking anything out of context. But that's why I'm saying, like, we don't know if it's that or if what his family is saying is true, and that he is having some sort of like identity crisis and mental health breakdown. Like you've seen, that's why I used Kanye as an example. But we'll keep letting him cook. What's up, Almanize? Good to see you here. Y'all go subscribe to Almanize. She has a channel, and I told you all go subscribe to BDB. And subscribe to From the Black Couch and Go Cree Cree. She's in here as well. So if anybody's not subscribed to them, make sure you subscribe to all of those.
Right. So those around me, right? This is happening to me. This is happening all over the world. To brethren, to those who believe in Jesus Christ. People turning their backs on their loved ones. People walking away. Disciples walking away from Jesus Christ. Because he spoke the words of truth, the words of eternal life. People walking away from him, right? Those closest to him walking away. These things will happen. Because they don't love the truth, and they show who they serve. They serve they serve the devil. They serve the devil. They don't serve Jesus, because if they serve Jesus, they would stand with Jesus. They would stand for righteousness.
Now, I will say that part is true. Like this is why the Bible also warns that, Christians would be persecuted. There will be those that turn against you, right? So it's no surprise that the NBA turned against him. It's no surprise that he has family turning against him. But it all goes back to like what I'm seeing also with like Kanye, thinking back to with Kanye. Kanye had everybody thinking he was like all for Christ, right? He even came out with that, was it a Christian rap album? But Kanye had everyone thinking that. Looks can be deceiving. You just don't know if it's what it really is. And I think time will tell. Time's going to reveal the truth on this. And the longer this goes on, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it really is a mental health issue or if he really is just grounded in faith. I'm hoping that, like I said, I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping it is a situation where he's just grounded in his faith. And if it is that, he could have really, like, he still could have a great career. It might not be in the NBA, but he could do a lot of speaking engagements. There's a lot of Christian schools that would have him speak. There's, like, I'm sure Tim Tebow might get involved with him. It would open up another door for him, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens with him.
And they think I'm crazy. But all I come to show them is that if you repent and turn from your sin and accept the words of Christ, you can have life. You can have life abundantly. Isn't the goal in life to have life? To have peace, to have joy? To have to reap the best things that is given in this life? Isn't that the best thing? Or is it to be in bondage? Is it to be in sin? Is it to not have peace? Why do people think that's not what does that mean? Why do people choose not peace? Why do people not want to have peace in their life? Why? Why are they choosing death? Why do they choose death? Why do they choose unrighteousness? Because they show who they serve. They serve the devil. They serve the devil.
Oh, from what Couchy said, it's always interesting to me that when athletes are perceived as falling off or not making a bag, their followers, family, and friends dump them like a hot pocket. Now, I will say, again, just to remind people that his mother is the women's basketball head coach of Notre Dame. So she very well could be wanting separation from this because that's a slippery slope, right? So she could be protecting her. At this point, she could be one that's trying to protect her career. So who knows? But it's not like that he's not considered successful. I know that he was recovering from injuries, but I mean, he did make it to the NBA, right? So that says something. I'm not saying that he's the greatest or anything like that, but I mean, people have just different ways of what they perceive to be someone who is successful and somebody who is not.
That's why they're on the opposite team. That's why they don't want to stand for Jesus, for righteousness, to be holy, a holy priesthood, saints. That's why they don't want peace. That's why they cheat on their wives. That's why they drink to get drunk.
This is where he gets into the NBA, like cheating on the wives and drinking to get drunk. I'm assuming. Okay, so this is an interesting takeaway from this. So he said, pay attention to how he worded it. Drinking to get drunk. That shows me that he still believes that you can drink alcohol, but in moderation. You shouldn't use it to get drunk, which is what I believe. I believe it's okay to have an occasional drink, but do not drink to get drunk.
And fornicate. And smoke weed.
Stay off the dang weed.
Because they have no peace. That's why all these dudes in the NBA, they go and party. because they have no peace, and they think that's peace for them. But it's no peace in that. It's no peace in going to the club. It's no peace in fornication. That's not your wife. That's not your wife. You don't know her.
Honestly, even whether you're a believer or not, like, this is why I don't push anything on anybody, obviously, and that's not my belief anyways. Even, like, obviously I am a Christian, but I don't like talking about it because I just know how everybody sees that and views that. But in my beliefs, I don't believe in pushing that on anybody. I respect other people's different beliefs. I don't believe in pushing my beliefs on anyone because that's in God's hands. All I can do is just tell you what I believe, and Christ could use that to change you. Who knows? But that's up to God. That ain't up to me. And we could get into that more in a different time, but this is just why I'm torn between this. Let me see, because Couch said something that I wanted to get to too. So you were talking about, like, the mother, who's the Notre Dame head coach. Oh yeah, and what's up, Cases and Cam? Daniel Cunningham. I didn't see you sneak in here, but y'all, he has the channel as well. Make sure you go subscribe to Cases and Cam, aka Daniel Cunningham. Let's see. I don't know if I can find it. But you said something about the mom choosing the money over her own son, but I don't know if it was necessarily that. Like I said, we don't know what's going on. We don't know if it's like the mental health aspect of it or what the situation is. I think the NBA has bigger problems than drunkards. Oh man, they like us to believe the blank problem ended in the 80s, but Lamar Odom and Dwight show that ain't true. That's truth. All glory to God. Yeah.
You don't know her. You're not married to her. You're not meant to sleep with 15 women. That's not what your body was used for.
I don't know if I finished my thought on that, but I do think that's great advice. Like, whether you're a believer or you're not, that is great advice. Like, I have friends who are atheists, right? And they, like, even though they don't believe, they're non-believers, they still see how the scriptures, like, give you morals. There's a moral background with it. So they even had their kids in a Christian daycare, and Christian, like, preschool, like elementary school, because they think that can give them a moral compass. So, like, even if you're a believer or you're not, like, there are takeaways that you can get from this, and I think that's, like, it's good for other NBA players to maybe see that and be aware, like, those things are used against you. Like, having multiple partners, having different baby mamas and all these kids, and like, getting wrapped up in the party scene. All of that is used against you, and it can hurt you. It can hurt your career. Obviously, in the Christian faith, you say it can hurt your testimony, but that's why like, it's not bad what he is saying. The NBA drug testing system is a joke. I knew Kevin Durant was a heavy weed smoker. Oh man, back in the OKC days. Hold on. Let me go up. His lips the same color as his skin. I should not have left it that, but that was funny. Erroneous E. I'm a Believer was a big hit in the 70s. Was that from the 70s? I didn't realize that. What's up, Derek? Good to see you. Okay, so back to it.
You were meant to have one wife. How God made it. He made he made Eve for Adam. Not multiple partners. Not multiple not multiple wives. Not committing adultery.
At this point, I'm starting to think, watching this, like, I'm starting to believe that he was called to, he might be called to preach. God might be calling him to preach because this is just interesting, and it's like Erroneous Z talked about earlier. People who are new believers, they often are like more preachy. They're often like so wrapped up in it that they become overly preachy, and that's the truth. It's true. And I told you all my story. Like I said, like my nickname was Bible Thumper in the 8th grade. That was my nickname because I was telling everybody the scripture. And I mean, it was bad, y'all. It was bad. I mean, I laid off. I learned a few things. God revealed a few good things to me from that. Oh my goodness. Derek Gaines. You said, I'm okay. My daughter caught the burner on fire. She turned on the wrong one with plastic bowl on it. That reminds me of that Everybody Hates Chris episode where the daughter was trying to make hot chocolate, kept trying to make hot chocolate, and she was going to strike a match and try to light the stove on fire. No, that was crazy.
Not for serving false religions who don't give you peace, who don't tell you the truth, so they can lead you to hell. That's what all these false religions preach. They don't preach nothing. And y'all think I'm losing my mind. That's why the people around me think I'm losing my mind. But I have peace. I have joy. I have the fruits of the Spirit. I don't have to search for those things no more. Jesus Christ saved me. And he can do the same for those who repent and believe in the gospel. You don't have to be stuck no longer. Stop letting the devil do it. Stop giving the devil power. He has no power over Jesus. He has no power over Jesus Christ. The one who created the world. The one who created this tree that's right above me. He has no power. Jesus has all the power. The devil is subject to Jesus. That's why he struck him down. That's why these things happen. Because they love darkness. And they show that they're of their father, the devil. That's why they play all that secular music in the arenas. And people act like it's nothing going on. But they talking about how I shot up, I shot up bodies. And how I murder. How I fornicate with multiple women. How I get pregnant and I leave these children and they grow up without a dad and a father.
Yeah, Couch. I see nothing wrong with what he's saying, but it's like I said, you know, right now with the two sides to every story aspect of it, we have to take everything with a grain of salt because I just don't want it to be a situation like Kanye. That's what I don't want. So that's why I'm saying, like, take everything with a grain of salt. He is a new believer. So take everything with a grain of salt. I do think that what he's saying is true, though. And y'all, I've shared it before. One of my favorite Bible verses. I've shared it before, and I'm going to share it again after this because it might give you guys a different perspective of this once I show it to you. And it makes it more real. Like the state of the world, it makes it more real. But I'll share that after I play the video. What's up, Broken Traditions? And Michael, you're new here. I don't think I've ever seen you before in the chat. You said, I mean, he is literally basically saying any non-Christian is a fundamental bad person. You can see why the owner of the NBA team does not want to alienate large portions of the globe and advertisers. Yeah, and that's another thing that I talked about too, is I get why the NBA had to take a stance on it, because the NBA, if they didn't take a stance, it would open up a can of worms, right? Because then you would have anybody and everybody claiming religion for their actions, like basing everything off of their religion. And if they had let this slide, it could have caused a lot more issues. So I get why they had to make a stance on this. Oh yeah, and what's up, Broken Traditions? Y'all go subscribe to Broken Traditions. Like he's been having like really great I'm gonna call it social media awareness. Just putting out info on the recent Meta, and what was the other? Was YouTube a part of it? I can't remember. But I know for sure Meta was the big one. But the recent lawsuit with Meta and how they won, like they claimed that it contributed to a lot of like just different mental health issues for their kids and all of this stuff. So it was really fascinating. Make sure y'all go check out Broken Traditions, because he is bringing a lot of awareness to social media usage and just being on your phone constantly as I sit here on a live and tell you all this. They won't Kanye him. He does not have enough influence. Yeah, so earlier I was talking about his actions. I just don't want his actions to be similar to what Kanye did, where Kanye claimed to be a believer in Christ, and then we seen how he acted. I just don't want it to be that type of situation. Yeah, I'm not talking about like how everyone handled Kanye, though. Just talking about action-wise. Yeah, I talked about that too the other day, Broken Traditions. I talked about how you said, okay, for devil's advocate, no pun intended, they allowed Cap to kneel for a whole season. I brought that up. So Broken Traditions, I brought that up, and I also brought up, to give another like Christian aspect of it, I did bring up the one where it was Harrison something from the Chiefs. He spoke at a campus giving a speech and mentioned wives in the kitchen cooking or something like that. And it caused the big uproar. But they still allowed him to be there. But see, you look at Kaepernick and the whole Kaepernick, he was out for a season. It's interesting. It's all interesting. But I brought that Kaepernick situation up too. All right, let this keep playing.
A mother. How people committing suicide because they taking all these pills, and they talking about pills in the songs, and they putting it in arenas. That's why. That's why, because they love darkness. They don't love the light. Because the light seeks things that are good, that are well-pleasing in the sight of God. But they don't say these things because they're in darkness. They can't see the light. They don't have eyes to see. Lest they turn and have eyes to see the truth. That's why you shall not murder. You think God wants people to murder? No. No. Everyone has a chance. He made them for a reason. He made man for a reason. Who are you to kill somebody else? It's called righteous anger. It's because Jesus was. He was righteously angry at many things. At many things. He hates to see the death of the wicked, those who didn't repent. He hates to see that. That's not the God I serve. He hates to see the death of the wicked. He hates it. He wants them to be a saint. He wants them to be in the kingdom of God. He doesn't want to see anybody perish, but people choose darkness over light.
I agree with him over this, y'all. And I told y'all, one of my favorite Bible verses, I'm going to share it. Let me get my screen ready. Hold on. Let's see if I can't bring it up this way. Yeah, there we go. I've shared this Bible verse before on here, and Derek probably knows the one that I'm talking about. But it's actually one of my favorite verses. Okay, let me add the window capture now. Sorry, y'all. See me work as I do this. We do it live. Let me fix this. There we go. Well, I'm not going to be able to see that. I don't know if you guys can see it that well either. But I'm going to read it from my phone. Let's see if I can't make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Either way, I'm going to read it from my phone. And there's so much truth to it all. There's so much truth to it. Even if you're not a believer, like I said, like I've showed atheist friends this verse and they're like, wow, that's so true. That's exactly how the world is right now. But it says this in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. But understand this, that in the last day there will come times of difficulty, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control. brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, stolen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness but denying its power. Avoid such people. Isn't there a lot of truth in that? Can you all see the truth in that? Cause that hits home for me, y'all. That Bible verse right there. It's one of my favorites. I think there's just so much truth to how the state of the world is. And I think it can relate to anyone. Anybody can see that this is what's going on, right? You don't have to necessarily be a believer in Christ to believe that you're not seeing people be selfish, deceitful, lovers of money, not lovers of good things. Like you don't have to be a believer to see like that's what's going on. I think we could all agree that this is how people are acting now. All right. But there's that. So what do y'all think? Y'all think he is mentally healthy, or do you think he's mentally unstable? Do you think that you're just waiting to see what happens? Because for me, I'm just waiting to see what happens. I'm just waiting to see if it ends up being true that he is someone just, being persecuted and just not necessarily getting treated the right way based off his faith. I'm just waiting to see. I'm waiting to see if it's that or if he really is just mentally unstable. All right, let me go ahead and click off of this one. Switch to this screen now. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's a good one, right? From the Black Couch. It gives you a little bit of a different perspective of what could be the case. It could just be people that are just like what that Bible verse described, and they could just be attacking his faith, or it could be he really is just mentally unstable right now and having an identity crisis like Erroneous E talked about. Is it okay? I think he is at a turning point in his life, and I wish him the best. I also think he should try his front door key. Okay. Let me know if the live's working for y'all. Okay, so now we covered that with what's going on with Jaden Ivey's wife speaking out. Now we can get into a Jalen Hurts update. I have more on Jalen Hurts. So let's get into that.
Notified when we're going live. Hey, gentlemen, Jalen Hurts in the news after this report from Jeremy Fowler with Tim McManus. said Jalen Hurts stands at a crossroads. Despite his immense success, sources say he has a hand in the Eagles' offense becoming calcified, and frustrations have grown. Dolph Kleiman put out this tweet, also giving some details from this story. He said Hurts was the person who called 4 verticals on the Eagles' last play of the 2026 playoffs, not Kevin Patullo. Wanted to avoid playing under center, reluctant to let it rip at times, particularly against zone coverage, push back on changes that would diversify the scheme, poor body language, not always bought in, diverts from the game plan, and changes play calls to an excessive degree, not the most coachable, and his teammates notice. This is the report put out on Jalen Hurts earlier today by Jeremy Fowler and Tim McManus. Fellas, how do we feel about this report and, the story on Jalen Hurts maybe being the issue on the Eagles offense?
I got a lot of thoughts. I hate this report leaking for several reasons. Number one, I've been inside a Philadelphia Eagles locker room where somebody called me and said, "Hey, Emmanuel Acho, is it true that Chip Kelly makes special teams players run down the field with gasoline in their mouths?" I said, "Wait, what?" I said, "Hey, is it true that Chip Kelly is a racist?" I was like, "Wait, what?" So reporters do call individuals and ask for the most wild, outlandish, and egregious questions and then go on and write stories about that. I will not say the reporter's name. Here's the other detail that I don't want y'all to have missed. They asked me. I'm the 49th person on the depth chart, backup linebacker. So what you asking me, important information about Chip Kelly and how he runs his team for? Do I know? Sure, and in theory, but you asking me, why you ain't asking Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Jason Peters, Jeremy Maclin, LaShawn McCoy? Why aren't you asking one of them? So I preface by saying, oftentimes, who knows what the actual source of the information is? So I hate when things are hidden behind sources. Here's the other thing. Jalen Hurts is a winner. We can establish and we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that Jalen Hurts is a winner. Are there some concerns within the Eagles locker room and with Jalen Hurts? Absolutely. And if you are immune or numb to that, then shame on you, because you are allowed to express concerns about a player. But Jalen Hurts is a winner. The Philadelphia Eagles rewarded Jalen Hurts with $255 million. Fans and media helped reward Jalen Hurts after he earned it with the Super Bowl MVP. And the media rewarded Jalen Hurts after he earned it with an All-Pro. So the media at times has respected Jalen Hurts. Fans in the media have respected Jalen Hurts. And the team respects Jalen Hurts. So I am not going to act like an article is some sort of outlandish or wildly egregious thought regarding Jalen Hurts. Let me continue, because I got a lot to say on this matter. Jalen Hurts has checked the plays, and he has checked the plays, and it has cost his teams a time. Go back to the 2023 season against the Seattle Seahawks. He checked the play outside of Nick.
This is any quarterback. Any quarterback has experienced these types of issues. And as far as what's being reported, I don't like, and I said this the other day, I don't like the person being anonymous, but I get why they are an anonymous source, because the reporters that break the news, they have to maintain a relationship with these people inside these different organizations. So they can't burn a bridge and they have to remain anonymous. And I think that what was said is more of the issue. Like when you attack someone's character, like what they're doing with Jalen Hurts, that's what I don't agree with this. But as far as a source remaining anonymous, I have no problem with that. Because like I said, these reporters can't burn a bridge. That's how they break this news to us. It's just crossing the line and making it more slanderous is what I have an issue with.
Sirianni's doing. Him and A.J. Brown did it. Jalen Hurts went out there and tried to take the blame. Nick Sirianni said, no, it's on me. That's on me. Against the Rams this past year, if I'm not mistaken, at the 35-yard line, Jalen Hurts made a check. It didn't work. So Jalen Hurts has checked the play at times, but all quarterbacks check plays, and it don't always work out. This is not a specific Jalen Hurts issue. Let me continue. People want to suggest, hey, how come people are source leaking things on Jalen Hurts? Because when Brandon Graham put an address on it, everybody got mad at him for speaking the truth. And Brandon Graham's maybe the longest tenured Eagle in the history of the organization. So, of course, people are now going to want to be immune and hide behind anonymous sources because the one time somebody really put a name on it, he got cursed out for speaking his truth. And now people are saying BG needs to retire. BG needs to shut the hell up. BG don't know what he's talking about. So I'm trying to offer a nuanced take and a nuanced perspective on all of this. Is Jalen Hurts a winner? Yes. Was this piece and was this hit job relatively unnecessary? Yes. Was there some truth in this statement and was there some truth in this piece? Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Why would somebody stay anonymous? Because the last time a legend spoke truth about the cantankerous relationship between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, that player and Brandon Graham got an onslaught of fans hating him. A lot of truth, some lies. I don't love sources. That's my first full take.
I do agree with. I don't always agree with Acho on things, but I do agree with the majority of what he said here with that.
So my take on this is when anonymous source.
Yep.
This a coach. This ain't a player. This ain't a player. This is a coach. How would a player know that he called the 4 verts play? How would they know what play was called? They just know what is sending the quarterback and what he says.
So this is some interesting details that they're now saying that this most likely came from a coach. A coach was making these claims on Jalen Hurts and is the source of this and releasing this information. That very well could be the case. Like you see it all the time in the business where if a coach and a player is not getting along, they start leaking information. So this is interesting if it is a coach.
A coach leaked that. And now, is it Kevin Patullo, who has kind of been branded, oh, he can't coach, he doesn't know what he's doing? Is he covering his ass?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just no way you call 4 verts when you know you're getting cover 4.
Yep.
Like, huh? Where you going? Who you throwing it to? You hope one of your receivers win a jump ball? You're not calling 4 verts. If you're going to call 4 verts, they better at least run a comeback on the outside.
Yep.
So to me, this is a coach that's fed up with Jalen Hurts. And they want this out there. This is not a player. Because there's too much going in when you look at the quote of this for a player's not saying that.
Yeah.
A player's not going to go into great detail like this report did.
Yeah,
so
I
believe
players will stick together. You'll have like a united front with the players. Obviously, you see disagreements all the time between players on the field, but for the most part, they're going to try to stick together. And if it becomes coach versus the players, that's not a good situation to be in. Because we know how that worked out with Mike McCarthy at Green Bay. When Green Bay and, with Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers at Green Bay in disagreement. Everyone said that his play calling was trash and that Aaron Rodgers was having to call his own plays. And also the players were like united with Aaron Rodgers, and that's how they ended up winning that Super Bowl. It had nothing to do with Mike McCarthy. And I even showed you all the clip of Aaron Rodgers himself on the field telling Mike McCarthy, stupid effing call. So you can clearly see where, there was some disagreements about play calls. And I mean, obviously, take that with a grain of salt, right? Because that happens all the time with QBs and head coaches. There could be disagreements with play calls, but consistently, that's when it's a problem.
It's a coach that was on the roster, or a coach last year, and or Kevin Patullo, basically trying to say, hey, it wasn't as bad as y'all thought it was, because Jalen Hurts was stuck in his ways. I couldn't really run the offense that I wanted to run. Jalen Hurts is making all this money. This is not on me.
Yeah.
Or it's a friend of Patullo's that has his back, that he's no longer there. That's what I believe. It's not a player.
That, to me, is more likely. Let's be honest. How many people, T, I thought about this. I need y'all to think about this in the chat. How many people could have known who called 4 verts? Maybe 6. Maybe 6 people. When a play is called on offense, especially coming off of that timeout, Jalen Hurts was there, Nick Sirianni was there, Kevin Patullo was there, Stoutland would have known potentially who called the play as well, and I think AJ.
They not even paying attention to the play call. If you not Sirianni, Patullo, or maybe the even the offensive line guy, it's 3rd and long, 4th and long.
Yeah,
you ain't even paying attention, but you know it's a pass.
Yeah.
So maybe 3 guys.
Yep.
On the coaching staff. A.J. Brown don't know what the play call was unless the coach told him afterwards.
Yeah. Also this, don't make Jalen Hurts the scapegoat for that situation. Why do I bring this up? Yeah. Most memorable moment I would suggest in Philadelphia Eagles history. Nick Foles in the Super Bowl runs off to the sideline to Doug Peterson. Coach, you want to run Philly? Yeah, let's run it. Or he says, hey, coach, you want to run the Philly special? Yeah, let's run Philly. The coach ain't going to get deboed by the player. The coach can receive the feedback. The coach can hear an idea. If your kids come up to you, hey, Dad, do you want to do X, Y, and Z? Ultimately, you make the decision.
It's because
you're the authority.
That Philly special now is like.
Correct. I say that to say, though, even if Jalen Hurts were to have suggested, hey, you want to run all go special, you want to run 4 verts, he ain't calling it. The coach still has to ultimately make the call. He can suggest it.
I
don't know.
I agree with Acho on that. Is even if this were true, that Jalen Hurts was calling different plays at that time, I mean, at the end of the day, the head coach makes the final decision. So the head coach could have been disagreeing with that offensive coordinator as well, or whoever it was at the time.
How can you suggest it when the play call is being told to you?
It was timeout before play.
Okay.
Yeah, they went to the sideline.
So now, if you're a coach and a player comes to me and suggests 4 verts, and I say to them, if I'm the coach, they've been playing, they play a lot of cover 4. We're not running that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you say.
Period. No more, no less.
They're heavy cover 4 in the red zone.
Yep.
No, we can't run that play.
Yep. Let's pull up. Here is the moment before the 4 verticals, which lost the Eagles the game and cost the Eagles their season against the San Francisco 49ers. Take a look at it. So you see Jalen Hurts. Remember I told y'all, you see A.J. Brown. That's probably the backup quarterback. Who would it have been? Tanner McKee, maybe? I think the backup quarterback.
Yeah, because he's tall.
You got Kevin Patullo right there is the one talking to Jalen Hurts. You got Nick Sirianni's right over there. And I do not know the coach that's right behind Jalen Hurts. That might be like an assistant O-line coach or something like that. I do not know that coach by name or by facial recognition. All that being said, where are the players? Only 2 players would have known that. That's A.J. Brown. That's Jalen Hurts.
A.J. Brown,
and maybe that's Tanner McKee.
He done kind of walked off, and they're still discussing it.
Exactly.
But I don't care what a player says. If you say we running 4 verts, and I know they're playing cover, and we don't know what they're going to play. We have an idea.
Yeah.
We're not running 4 verts.
Yep.
We're just not going to do it.
Yep.
And if we do, I'm telling Nate, whoever on the outside, hey, if it looks like cover 4, run a comeback.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Give me a throw.
Okay, what do you make of this? Do you have the Kellen?
I had to say earlier, because I was sidetracked with everything going on. But what is up, Real to Sports? Y'all go to subscribe to Real to Sports. Forgot to mention that earlier, I think. Oh yeah, I missed some comments earlier. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'll try to be better about that.
More stuff. Like, what do you make of the fact that Jalen Hurts, like, go ahead.
Apparently also in the report, they said Kellen Moore had tried to implement new offensive concepts that Hurts did not always embrace. Per multiple team sources, one of the sources said that they believed the changes concerned motions and shifts, recalling that Hurts was not receptive to the idea. I want to add on to this before we get your response. This is something that Shady had also alluded to during the season.
Mm-hmm.
This is something like the exact same thing, though, about the motions, about the shifts, about taking snaps under center. These are things that like Shady talked about before. So I do think there is some sort of credence to the report if that's what's all coming out. Now, if it was Kevin Patullo to go out here and do that, that's one of the weakest, lamest, most like ridiculous.
I don't think there's no way.
I don't think he would.
If it was Patullo, this would have been put out during the season.
There's no way Patullo did this. There's no way Patullo did this.
It's a coach on this staff just that don't like that Hurts isn't getting more blame than he
Correct.
should. That's
Which-
all it
Oh,
is.
that's
And
a good
I-
point. So they're saying it's some other type of coach, someone that's a part of that huddle is probably leaking this information that does not like Hurts.
To TJ's point, it could be like an associate of Patullo. It could be an associate of Stoutland. I know Stoutland wouldn't have done this. Patullo ain't no way he would have done this. Patullo and Sirianni are like this. Patullo might still be on staff if I'm not mistaken.
My thing is, Shady was saying this mid-season though, from people that he was hearing from on the staff.
Because
So I think it's just
they
like,
know that we want to change the offense a little bit. We want to tweak it. But a lot of quarterbacks don't
aren't gonna
want
be okay with
motions
that.
and shifts because when you motion and shift, now the defense changes.
Yeah.
So if I can keep it the same, I know exactly what coverage they're playing. I just got to throw an accurate ball. When you shift and you run motions, they may switch the defense. So now you got to read that defense on the fly.
Yeah, I think two things are true, right? So one, yeah, I do think working with Jalen Hurts is probably a little bit difficult for these offense coordinators because he's had 4 in the last 4 years, right? 2 of them got fired after a season.
Now, this is what I was talking about yesterday. All the offensive coordinators that has been there since Jalen Hurts, that's a lot. That's like one every year almost. And it takes time to get adjusted. It takes time to develop and click. So I don't know.
If that's the case, if 2 of them are getting fired after a season, I think it's a stretch to say that 2 of those offensive coordinators, 50% of the offensive coordinators that you hired, were so bad they were a 1-year and done offensive coordinator play caller in the NFL. Like, I think maybe working with Jalen is a little bit more difficult than we're putting out there. But also, at the same time, I watched 2 coordinators take him.
I don't think it's fair to just blame that solely on Hurts. It could be offensive coordinator, that 2 of those offensive coordinators that he mentioned that got fired, they just didn't click with the offense, like the entire offense. Because if something's not working, it's not just on Hurts. Like, it has to click with all of the offense.
To a Super Bowl. I watched 2 coordinators
Can I
have
ask
elite
you a
offenses
question?
with him.
I just thought about this.
What's up?
They have a first-time offensive coordinator, an extremely young first-time offensive coordinator. He gonna get stepped on like a doormat, straight up and down.
Yeah.
Like, he gonna be told what to do more so than telling anybody what to do. If this is true.
And that could be the case. Like, if it's a young offensive coordinator who doesn't have experience, he could be getting told what to do, and there could be friction in that relationship. But like I said before, it takes time to develop. It takes time to develop a relationship and to click and to get things going. So I don't know.
I think that's facts. I mean, I think that's facts. Where Kieran is right, and where a lot of this is right, is like this is probably 70% true, right? Jalen Hurts, we know, has been a much more reserved player. Jalen Hurts is a teammate of A.J. Brown, but he's no longer a close friend of A.J. Brown, public-facing. Jalen Hurts has checked plays at the line of scrimmage, and it's gone awry. Jalen Hurts is a very reserved quarterback and a reserved individual. Jalen Hurts probably doesn't love playing under center. Neither does Kyler Murray, Lincoln Riley quarterback. Neither did Baker Mayfield, Lincoln Riley quarterback. Neither does Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley quarterback. Neither do a lot of these new day and age college quarterbacks. Now, Jalen Hurts not being familiar with plays, motions, and pre-snap shifts, I can't attest to that positively or negatively. But I do think, like, there is a lot of truth to this. I think it just comes down to, what's it matter? Jalen, all I know is this. Jalen got a ball this year, and the Eagles got to win this year. That's what I know. Because this is a byproduct of Jalen.
Expectations are going to be high, as usual.
What does this matter?
Yeah. Do you also put any credence into like the reporters that are putting out these types of pieces? Because Tim McManus, I don't think is a dude that just has it out for Jalen Hurts. He's a dude that actually, I think when you go look back at what he said about Jalen Hurts previously, it's rather positive though. I think he's a dude that's actually covered the Eagles quite closely. I think there is some credence to this report. Whether it needed to be released or not was kind of the question for me.
Why would you put a slanderous piece out like that? I mean, and I'm not attacking the reporter for reporting it, because obviously they got a job to do. They got to break news. That's just part of the business. It's the anonymous source. And like they're saying, this is most likely coming from someone who is a coach, not saying that this is Nick Sirianni or the offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. But one of the other smaller role type coaches is most likely leaking this information. That's what I have a problem with, is you're just attacking a player's character because you don't like them.
Because we've seen Jalen Hurts play football at the highest level that this game has. But also at the same time, I think we've seen him play subpar at times. And I just think it's putting this report out.
Player. You could say the same. The same has been said about Dak Prescott. You could say it about any player.
Is a little. Do you guys have a problem with the report being put out?
I always have a problem when you talk ill of a player, but who's doing all the talking?
And they don't want to say who it is.
I want to know who this is.
Yeah.
Because that's how you know, do you put credence into it? Like, okay, do I believe this? Who is this?
Yeah.
And
do you think if Kevin Patullo was the one that came out and said this, what do you think the reaction would be?
Reasons why they can't give up their name, because if they do have a coaching role, that hurts their job, that hurts their relationship with players, even though we have an idea that this is somebody that is in a coaching role there. There's just many different reasons of why they can't reveal who it is, and plus with the reporters, they have to keep them anonymous so they don't burn bridges, because that's how they get the information to break the news. So I get why there's multiple different reasons, but I don't agree with what's being reported when you're just attacking someone's character.
To that would be.
Oh, they wouldn't believe it. They'd be like, oh, he just saying this because he called.
I also think Patullo would never get a job in the NFL again.
I don't believe it's him, but it's somebody on this.
They would have a difficult time getting a job. That's why they have to remain anonymous.
Staff that wants it to be known that he didn't do as bad of a job as we believe he did.
Yeah.
Some of this has to fall on Jalen Hurts. And I always believe the quarterbacks get way too much credit when things go well. They deserve to take some of the blame. They deserve to take some of it. You have to. Because they give you all the credit when you win it.
Yeah.
You have to take some of the blame, but this type of stuff, nah, not this.
Let me ask you this, TJ. Who are two people on the team, the organization, the staff, whatever? Name one person that it wouldn't mean anything if you found out who it was, or it would mean a lot if you found out that this person said it. You see what I'm saying? So,
any coach, it would mean a lot, because you could have told us this as a team or an offense. Just us. In a meeting.
Behind closed doors, right.
Or you could have said this during the season. It's April. We in April. Why this coming out?
Just kept between the players, but like coaches and the players. But obviously, whenever you have difficult relationships like this between the athlete and the coach, this is what happens.
Now.
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden is this coming out now all the way in April if this is how you felt this way during the season?
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't matter who it is.
Okay.
I just want to know who it is.
Yeah.
You just got to know what you're dealing with. It might be a guy that hey, coach, how you doing, baby? You good?
But the only problem is, had Brandon Graham, of all people, not gotten publicly lambasted for being honest, true, authentic, then I would agree with T. But like BG, 15 years with the Eagles. Eagle his whole career.
Yeah.
Seen 3 different head coaches, if I'm not mistaken. 4 different head coaches. And BG comes out here and just, if you know BG, innocent BG, nah, Jalen Hurts and AJ, they're not really as cool as they used to be. What you mean? Well, people just kind of, they just go apart. They go through some things. Eagles fan base riots, man. BG, what you know? You're not even.
Fan base, they're gonna give you their thoughts, but I mean, I don't blame them.
Even in the locker room next to Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, BG is like Jalen Hurts' closest and only outside of Smitty public friend. Yeah. Of course, BG.
This is what I say a lot. Watching him, it's like, come on. I don't agree with Acho a lot. I don't. But I did agree with him on what he said at the beginning. But the majority of the time, he ticks me off so bad.
No. But BG said that, and everybody made him walk it back. He had to go out the next day and apologize. Eagles fans now want BG off the team. You can't say anything. So it's a lose-lose. So that is why all of a sudden you get sources. What's wrong?
I mean, we saw it with Shady this season. He came out and said what he heard from people in the building, and everyone was like, what the hell is Shady? No, Shady
turned on the Eagles. He's not a real Eagle.
In the Hall of Fame that talks to the people that work for that franchise don't really know. You just can't go at Jalen Hurts, though. That's kind of the thing.
And here is what does run me hot.
I don't agree with that. Like, I mean, even I've seen Eagles fan give fair criticism to Jalen Hurts when he wasn't performing well. So I don't necessarily agree with that. The issue is you're attacking someone who won a Super Bowl and acting like it's not good enough. What Eagles fan want BG off the team? He's a legend. Exactly. That's what Erroneous. I'm glad you brought that up because I was wondering that myself. I'm like, I don't remember any Eagles fan ever. I don't remember seeing anybody online saying that they didn't want BG there. So I was wondering where he was getting that from.
You to bow down at the feet of Jalen Hurts. Like in 5 days, they think Jalen Hurts rose again. Oh, like people want you to all hail.
Okay, I'm getting extreme with it now.
The Messiah that is Jalen Hurts, like JAELN. JESUS. Yeah. I think like people truly want you to worship Jalen Hurts.
The man walked on water to win that Super Bowl. Can you blame them for wanting a little respect for Jalen Hurts? I don't blame them one bit.
I don't know if I believe Jalen Hurts is a top 7 quarterback in football. I think he's a winning quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback, a really good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback, but he ain't top 7.
But he ain't turning water into wine.
But he's not turning water into wine.
He ain't feeding whole villages.
Not at all.
Come on now.
And they want you to
quarterback. What quarterback is? Even we've seen Mahomes have issues this past season. What quarterback is turning water into wine? The only one I could think of, you could obviously name Tom Brady. But even then, people are still going to, I don't want to say people might take it as disrespect. Some people might take it as fair criticism, but you bring up Deflategate. Some people might use that against Tom Brady and say, well, he didn't turn water into wine on the field either because Deflategate. So what quarterback has, is my question. I don't even believe Jalen is top 5 QB, but I do believe he is top 10. That's interesting. Man, let's see who would I put as top 5 of my quarterbacks. Tom Brady the cheater. Let's see, who would I put top 5 current quarterbacks? Obviously, just because of his success, I will name Mahomes, even though I don't like him. So I'll name Mahomes. I'll name Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is one of my favorites. I think he's a talent. Let's see. I really don't want to name Sam Darnold. Don't really want to name Matthew Stafford. Don't really want to name Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I would consider Aaron Rodgers a top 5 quarterback just because of his history in the league. For that reason alone, I would put him top 5 maybe. I really don't have a lot of favorite quarterbacks, apparently. Apparently, I don't have a lot of top 5, but I would list, I'm not going to lie, I have put Jalen Hurts up there. I love Jalen Hurts. And I do like Dak Prescott as well. I think he's underrated. Oh, Allen. I didn't mention Allen, yeah. And Jackson, yeah. Lamar Jackson. You're naming some of my favorites. I don't put Stafford. I don't know why I can't put Stafford up there, but I don't put Stafford. I would go Mahomes, Jackson, then Allen, then, well, no. I wouldn't even do that because at least Burrow made it to a Super Bowl, right? He's been to a Super Bowl before. So I would go Mahomes. No. Honestly, I would put Jalen Hurts at 2. I would go Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Burrow, Jackson, Allen. Those would be my favorite. I would put Jalen Hurts at number 2 because he's proven he can win. He's proven. What more do you want from the man? What more do you want? And this is coming from somebody who's a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I'm putting Jalen Hurts at number 2. What more do you want for him? Like, he's a proven winner. And I'm like, that's why I put him at number 2, because he's proven he could win. Yeah, Matthew Stafford has one. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay, we won't lie there. Didn't he win MVP too this past season? For some reason, I just can't put Matthew Stafford at, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his age. I think it has more to do with his age than anything. Is why I don't want to put Stafford so high. Because it's like he could fall off real quick, right? He's had injuries as well. So there's a reason why I'm not putting Stafford as high up there. And that's why I didn't put Aaron Rodgers up there as well. But yeah, so that's why I put my list the way it is.
Worship the man, and the moment you call out a flaw, just one singular solitary flaw, all of a sudden you crucify him.
I don't believe that. It's when you start making attacks like they did in the media with that anonymous report from most likely somebody that's in a coaching position there, in a small world coaching position. I mean, come on. Like, I just, that's not what I like about it, is the attack on his characters, claiming, what was all the claims, like, erroneous? Do you remember, like, saying that he's uncoachable? That's what it was. Someone who was under Nick Saban is uncoachable? Are you kidding me? Someone who has been praised for their mindset being just like Nick Saban is uncoachable? I'm not seeing that. You can't make me buy that. I'm not buying what you're selling. Because one thing that Nick Saban has always preached is you have to be coachable. I mean, Jalen Hurts says the same things. You have to be coachable. Dak Prescott is a better QB than Hurts. Oh, see, oh man, you're going to put me in a tough situation, Quan. And I'm a Dallas fan. Okay, Dak Prescott is a better QB than Hurts. Hurts has had a better team. Fight me. Quan said, fight me. Fight me. The Eagles defense has been elite. Put Dak on that Eagles team and he wins a ring. Oh man, that's interesting, Quan. I'm gonna have to. Okay, y'all. Let me turn on some CDT Beats music while I talk. Y'all know that I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. That I love Dak Prescott. That I've always wanted the best for Dak Prescott. But there's no way that I can say that he would win a Super Bowl with that team. Because, and here's why, Quan. Here's why I can't say that. It's because I think back to the time where we had Amari Cooper, still had Ezekiel Elliott. Granted, I didn't think Ezekiel Elliott was at his best, but we had such a great team. I blame more of that on Mike McCarthy, like bad coaching, than I do anything. I don't put that on Dak Prescott alone. But I don't know if Dak Prescott could come up with the ring. And that's a what if scenario, right? What if? Like, we could what if all day about it. I just don't know. We all don't. We don't know what he could win a Super Bowl with that team. But there's also the possibility he could have failed. And it could have been like a San Francisco 49ers catastrophe. And I also don't say that he's a better QB just because of some of his decision making in the pocket. I didn't like, this was when we were under Mike McCarthy as well. Dak really struggled to make his own calls, like his own play calls. Whenever the play call wasn't coming through, he would get a ton of delay of games. And Mike McCarthy wasn't calling timeout. Then you also, Dak was waiting to see he was too busy trying to get the call. It was a bad situation. And instead of Dak Prescott just being that QB that could make a decision and just go for a play, we had a lot of delay of games. So I don't know if I would consider Dak Prescott someone that could have won a Super Bowl with that Eagles team. It's definitely a possibility, though. I'm not denying his talent. I do think he's talented. It's just, you look at the turnovers, and granted, take that with a grain of salt, right? This happens to any QB. This happens to Jalen Hurts. You're always going to see turnovers. They just magnify it when it comes to Dak Prescott. Interesting viewpoint. I'll stay silent and listen. It's facts. The Eagles won Hurts that Super Bowl. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't agree. I know that I don't agree with that. So, Jalen Hurts made a lot of plays with his legs. You remember Saquon Barkley in that Super Bowl? He was kind of absent. He wasn't really as active, which kind of I wasn't too surprised by it. But I did want to see more. I wish we could have seen more, but again, I wasn't surprised the fact that they contained Saquon Barkley in that Super Bowl. So what did you have? You had Jalen Hurts getting plays with his legs. You also had Jalen Hurts making a lot of passes to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. And then you just think about the dagger, like I talked about it the other day, the dagger pass to Devontae Smith. I'm not saying Dak Prescott couldn't have done that, because we've seen him air it out too like that. But I don't know if I would say that he could have won that Super Bowl. Dak has had plenty of talent during his tenure. He choked. Did he choke, or is it just, some of it's unfortunate circumstances, right? Like, you have passes deflected and then they end up intercepted. So it's just things like that. It's like I don't necessarily hold against him when it comes to things like that. Quan, I think he's just referring to when we had Amari, like I said, whenever we had Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, and that team against the San Francisco 49ers. And we also had Dan Quinn. Remember, Dan Quinn was still there as our defensive coordinator. That was a solid defense. We just always struggled to stop the run. The run game has always been what's hurt us. We have to be able to stop the run game better, because that happened to us with San Francisco. That happened to us with Green Bay. Yeah, the run defense has been bad for a good while. Zeke's best years was his rookie year. I agree with that. Might have been the best or second best back in the league that year. Yeah, I agree with that. So in 2023, Dallas didn't have an elite defense. And see, this is what I'm talking about. The year, like, I go back to, like, the San Francisco and Dallas game. Like, we had Dan Quinn. That was a solid defense. We just couldn't stop the run. We've never been able to stop the run. Yeah, see, Quan, you're talking about it. Yeah, not in run defense. It has been a hot mess. Very horrible. Everyone ran all over us. The Bears had a field day, right? Where's Postman? He's a Bears fan. But yeah, you're right. Like, we've always had a horrible defense when it comes to stopping the run. Pass defense is not run defense. Also, Dak wasn't prime in 2018. Dak is prime now. I don't know if I agree. I'm waiting to see. Like, once you get up in your 30s, it's like you start to question, is this person in their prime? I've been meaning to get a drop for that, because there's a movie. Have y'all ever seen the movie Tombstone? I'm gonna get a drop that says I'm in my prime. Okay, so let's continue.
Facts.
I get called a hater on a day-to-day basis by him. I'm like, I said I would take him in the playoffs over my own quarterback.
No,
Like,
Care
yeah,
Bear,
I don't
they call
know.
him Care Bear. He's a Dallas fan. He's talking about he'd take Jalen Hurts over his own quarterback. So that tells you what a talent we think Jalen Hurts is.
Also, it's like, bro, there's some things that are just indefensible. You can't just not have a yard in the second half of multiple games and let that slide.
Kieran, did you wear one of them WWJD wristbands growing up?
No.
He was too young. He's too young.
Nah,
You remember them? Oh yeah, I definitely remember. Yeah. The one with Jalen do. Okay, bro.
Yo.
You didn't wear.
What would Jalen do?
You didn't wear one of them. What would Jalen do?
I had mine was what would Jesus do?
I don't know about
I would take a what would Jalen do bracelet. I love Jalen Hurts. I'm cool with the what would Jalen do bracelet. That guy I'm telling you, he has a Nick Saban mindset. And that's, like, I remember Jalen Hurts talking about why he came to Alabama. It's because he saw a lot of himself in Nick Saban. So, with that type of mindset, that person, like, he's going to accomplish things. That's why I just do not like the hate that Jalen Hurts is getting right now. There might be another video that I have for y'all on this as well. I just didn't have time to add it. Actually, in fact, I know there is because it's from Nightcap. So let me go ahead and add that real quick. I'm also going to, let me see, I might need more water. We might take a water break. Let me see here. Where is it? Nightcap, here we go.
Source within the Eagles organization believes Jalen.
Okay. Add the sound. We are going to take a quick intermission. I will play some funny sports fans clips for the intermission while I go get me some water. So enjoy the funny fans.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind.
Alright, thanks for bearing with me on that while I took a water break. Alright, back to it.
A source within the Eagles organization believes Jalen Hurts is not the most coachable player per Jeremy Fowler. Damn. According to body language, not always bought in, not the most coachable, and the players notice. Key notes from the Fowler report. Hurts was the person who called 4 verticals on the Eagles' last play of 2026 NFL playoffs. Not Petula. Wanted to avoid playing under center. Reluctant to let it rip at times, particularly against zone coverage. Pushback on changes that would diversify the scheme. Poor body language, not always bought in. Diverts from the game plan and changes play calls to the excessive degree.
CDT Beats. Y'all make sure you subscribe to CDT Beats. Man, CDT Beats gave me a good idea, y'all, and I cannot wait for him to send me this beat, and I told him I would do it. I'm a little bit nervous to say this, but I told him that I was going to say, yeah, ho. If y'all know, you know, but CDT has this beat, and it's my favorite, and I could, like, you should see me getting into that song. I'm just like, yeah, ho. I get so into that beat. But yeah, you can clip that if you want. CDT. Me saying, yeah, ho. Alright, moving on. I didn't even know CDT snuck in here. Alright. You said my youngest has a WWJD bracelet on as we speak. Stands for what would Jalen do? What would Jalen do? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's see. A team. On to A team. I'll play your drop after I get done with this video. My favorite player is DeMarvin Overshown. I love defense. He just needs to stay healthy. I hope he gets back to playing like he did 2 years ago. Yeah, that's a tough ask. But I'll see if I can't find like a funny interview with him, or, you know, if anything, I'll try to find like a game highlight. Patuli is the anonymous source. He or Nick Sirianni, since it was Nepo hire. Well, see, that's the thing, Aronia. See, they're saying, like, from the speakeasy, they're saying there's no way it could be, obviously it's not Nick Sirianni. It can't be Patulio, because that's their job. That puts their job at risk. There's no way someone in that higher position is going to be saying these comments. That's why they're claiming that it's most likely one of the smaller role coaches. So like an offensive lineman coach or something like that. Someone in that position is most likely leaking this information as the anonymous source. Yeah, Patulio got fired. And this is my thing with that, is like if it is a situation where he is bitter, I just don't know if he would put his job put his job at risk. That prevents him from getting hired somewhere else. If they find out he was or is suspected of leaking it, it really hurts his chances of getting hired somewhere else. So that's why people are saying that they don't believe it is him, that this is coming from one of the smaller role coaching positions.
Not the most coachable. Teammates notice. According to Fowler, Hurts stands at a crossroad. Despite his immense success, sources says he had a hand in the Eagles' offense becoming calcified, and frustrations have grown. Now, I know Eagle fans gonna beat Ocho and I up about this. He ain't make this up. I don't know if y'all know who Jeremy Fowler is.
They better know.
But if you don't know,
yeah, he got hurt twice. It's the same with, you know what? It's the same with Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs was one of my favorites. Y'all know I'm a Bama fan as well. So I was so happy that we got Trayvon Diggs from Alabama. And he had such career high interceptions. He was, despite what people thought about his tackling, he could actually tackle. Like I remember there's one of my favorite plays where it was a third down. It was against the Bengals. And we had to make a stop on this play, or Joe Burrow had a chance to win the game. And Trayvon Diggs was the one that made the tackle on Jamar Chase, I believe, or maybe it was Higgins. I can't remember. It was either Jamar Chase or Higgins. But that was my favorite play. So despite what people thought, he actually could tackle, and it was just after the ACL injuries. Like, he had one ACL injury, and then the next year it was another, and then now he's released. So, I feel you.
it came from that building.
Yeah. It always comes from the building. And another thing, I mean, listen, I don't like the nitpicking about mannerisms and body language, because his body language has always been like that. He's one that doesn't show much passion. He doesn't show much excitement. He doesn't smile much. You see how he does his interviews. Everything is really, really, really serious. That's just who he is.
Ocho, hold on. Before you go any further, Ocho, okay, we take the stoicism. What about the most coachable? What about that?
That's what I don't agree with, is the most coachable. He's not the most coachable. Are you kidding me? Someone, like, obviously, take it with a grain of salt, right? Looks can be deceiving. How people claim to be, in public is not always how they are behind closed doors. But I would have to think that Jalen Hurts is coachable, because you've seen Nick Saban talk about how he did everything right. He was coachable. He did what was asked. Oklahoma obviously loved him. And then being at the Eagles, winning a Super Bowl, I would have to think he is coaching, or is coachable.
And especially being a quarterback that's had success, being a quarterback that's already won a Super Bowl. I mean, in a way.
Now, I will say this is not to say that Jalen Hurts can't change. People can change. You can develop bad habits, right? So Jalen Hurts could have been coachable at one point in time, and has just developed into somebody who's gained a lot of confidence and has become less coachable. That could be a scenario, right? I'm not going to downplay that at all. But just knowing how Jalen Hurts is, I would have to assume that he would snap out of that mindset real quick. Like, if someone told him he's not coachable, and he's hearing it from other players as well, like his other teammates, he's going to take that into consideration and think, okay, well, maybe I need to sit back and listen and adjust. I like saying he's not coachable. I don't know if I agree with that. If he wasn't coachable, he wouldn't have made it past the first year as a starter. There was rumblings we might draft a QB then. Exactly, Erroneous C. Exactly. Yeah, I was a big Diggs fan. He was my favorite player when he was in Dallas. He was a true CB1 before the injuries, right? Yeah, he was my favorite. And it's so unfortunate to see where he is now. I hope he gets another chance, but it's not going to be as good as he had it back in like 2022.
To win and have that kind of consistency that they did have, don't you have to be coachable? In a sense, maybe last year that might have been, okay, you know what? I don't like Petula's system. I don't like what's going on. I want to simplify things, to my liking. When I get plays that come in and it's something that I don't like, I'm going to change it. So I could probably see maybe this season not being coachable because he's wanting to do things his way.
All I'm going to say is this here. You didn't know this. Nobody know this. Jeremy Fowler is reporting it was Hurts who called the 4 verticals on the Eagles' last play of 2026 in the NFL playoffs, not Petula. Who knew that other than the damn coaches?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the players. So for Jeremy Fowler to get that, because they're gonna beat us up, Joe. You ain't gonna get too much. You ain't gonna get too much pushback. But Ocho and I gonna get pushback. How would this man know that?
Everything always come from in the building, huh? Always.
Inside
always.
source.
No matter who you are, it's gonna get out.
But ain't nobody gonna take the blame though. Y'all know how it go. It's somebody talking to them reporters. All I know is this: me and Ocho best friend. You the God. It's been reported. I think that he's one of the godsons.
AJ Brown,
AJ's kid. How you fall out with that? One of the reasons that I came to Cincinnati to play with Ocho. And now all of a sudden I want to leave Ocho? Even after I won a Super Bowl. Yeah. Been to 2, won 1. Nah, I'm good, cuz. Let me go.
Something going on over there.
AJ see that system, man. It ain't working out for him, man. Hey, AJ, like, man, I can't get my numbers. I can't catch no balls.
Hey, and you know how AJ thinking? Okay, I got my ring, so shoot. From this point on, I'm trying to get them numbers right.
And that's fair. That's true. Like, AJ, like, he don't care about anything at this point. Like, he already got his Super Bowl ring. Now, at this point, he just wants more career high stats and the money.
Hello. AJ said, y'all got people thinking I'm some sauce out here now. That's what y'all thinking. I see what JSN doing. I see what Puka doing. I see what all these other receivers doing. Y'all got people thinking I can't play no more. AJ washed. AJ can't run nothing with this. I'm telling you how AJ thinking. Yeah.
Hey, same thing. Slant, curl, deep ball, left side of the field.
Welcome back, Pooh Man. AJ wants to leave because he thinks he's an all-time wide receiver when he isn't best wide receiver in the league type of talent. A very good talent, especially contested catches. Yeah, truth. I agree with that, Erroneous C. I definitely have no arguments there with that. There was something else I wanted to add with this. Oh yeah, here it is. So, with all that's being said about Jalen Hurts, y'all remember me talking about how... Oh wait, was there another video as well? I think I had one actually on from the Pat McAfee show that I haven't played yet. Yeah, because I played the Speakeasy one. I don't think I played the Pat McAfee one yet. My bad, y'all. Let me add it real quick. Here we go. Almost forgot this one.
Shefty, we've talked about this.
Let me add it to the screen here. F it, we do it live. Okay, we're done with this one. Let me add the sound. All right, here we go.
Bunch really over the last several years. It seems like right around this time or right around the season starting, everyone's got an issue with Jalen Hurts, whether it's, the team thinks he's the problem, anonymous sources are coming.
I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with that. I think Devontae Smith is my... Okay, if I had to pick a favorite wide receiver in the league, it's going to be Devontae Smith. I think people... Obviously, he's always been underestimated because of his size. That can always be argued, but he's proven he can make some really great, outstanding catches, and he's done that ever since college. So, he's my favorite wide receiver.
Right after the league meetings, basically putting all the blame on him. There's still the A.J. Brown stuff going around. Like, what do you read into all this stuff, not only with Jalen Hurts, what you're hearing about A.J. Brown, and also, why is this just constantly what's coming out of the locker room in Philadelphia?
I mean, look, the year ended in disappointment, so people are going to be digging in, and that's a very intense media market, so people want answers, and Jalen Hurts' body language was not always great last year, so I guess people are looking for more explanations. Look, again, I look at it like this. The guy's done a lot of things right. Like, he did win a Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, right? Where he could have won MVP of that particular... Did he win MVP? No, he didn't win MVP of that game.
Super Bowl MVP. Yeah,
he did.
He did. Okay, Super Bowl MVP. Okay, excuse me, I stand corrected.
Well,
so he's the Super Bowl MVP 2 years ago. Leads him to the victory. Could have won another Super Bowl. Played well enough. Has been doing this at a time where if we look at his offensive coordinators, they'll have Sean Mannion this year.
And this is why I have so much respect for Adam Schefter. This is why I get a lot of my information from Adam Schefter, because he is very respectful to not burn bridges and to not talk ill about certain players. I mean, sometimes he, like, if it's, reasonable, I'm sure he'll speak out on something, but he's not burning bridges and just saying whatever.
Yeah, Kevin Petullo last year, Kellen Moore 24, Brian Johnson 23, Shane Steichen 22, Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni 21, Doug Peterson in 20. Different offensive coordinator every year. Different offense. Like, I know he's not the quarterback that everybody wants, but how about the fact that he's done a lot of things that no other quarterbacks
And that's
have
my
done?
thing, and this is what I've been saying. It takes time to get adjusted to a new offensive coordinator. You're going through that many different changes. So it takes time to develop those relationships and to get adjusted, and especially if you're learning a new offensive scheme, like those things take time. So I just don't get it. I don't get the hate.
With a number of offensive coordinators, could it be different? Could it be perfect? Are there questions this year about what it might be like if Sean Mannion wants him to line up under center, which he hasn't done great at, which he's resisted to do in the past? Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of questions.
And I don't,
we're still,
like, if Jalen Hurts has resistance to lining up, I've told you, many quarterbacks aren't, like, I Googled it the other day. Many quarterbacks in the NFL are in shotgun. They're not always under center. But we do know there's always changes in the NFL. So it used to be a more run heavy offense. Now you're seeing more pocket pass. Like, it always switches back and forth. You used to see fullbacks in there. Now the fullbacks are gone. So there's always changes, right? Could a change be happening to where quarterbacks are going to be lining up under center rather than doing shotgun now? That's a possibility. But even if he is lining up under center and he did have a disagreement with it, I don't see a problem with it, because a quarterback has to do what they're comfortable with sometimes to succeed. You have to play to a quarterback's strengths. You can't play to their weaknesses. So if Jalen Hurts knew that was one of his weaknesses, why would he want to line up under center? That's what I don't like about this. If his strength is lining up in shotgun, which the most popular formation for a quarterback is to line up in shotgun, why can't he do that? I don't see the point in that. And I mean, obviously, Adam Schefter, he's not criticizing that, but what's up, Tierra? Good to see you. Talk Me Through It. Y'all already know. Subscribe to Talk Me Through It podcast. If Pooh Man or somebody wants to drop one of their links, they can. Or Tierra, if you want to drop your link as well, like, you could just drop it yourself. Either way. But make sure y'all subscribe to Talk Me Through It podcast. Chelsea, the last QB under center was Tom Brady. Did Tom Brady line up under center? You're gonna make me Google this now. What formation did Tom Brady prefer in the NFL? Under center or shotgun? There's also, like, bootleg and all sorts of stuff. Nope. It says, okay, so it says this. Tom Brady was elite at both. So Tom Brady was, obviously, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady, we're not surprised he was elite at both. He heavily preferred and excelled in shotgun formation. This is why I told y'all. If you pay attention, quarterbacks line up. The most popular formation for a quarterback in the NFL is in shotgun formation. But I'm wondering if they're not going to start shifting to being lined up under center. But it does say Tom Brady was, he heavily preferred and excelled in shotgun formation, but he was elite at both, obviously. Now, that's where it's rare. Like, that's why I'm saying you have to play. It's rare you get a quarterback like Tom Brady who could do both, right? That's why I think that Jalen Hurts needs to play to his strengths. So I don't see a problem with Jalen Hurts preferring shotgun formation versus wanting to line up under center. I don't see an issue with it. Y'all came in, Tierra, you came in when I'm ranting about shotgun formation versus under center. Manning is the GOAT. I bet I do think, okay, so I think Tom Brady is a GOAT. I'm not ever going to discredit Tom Brady as being a GOAT. I think Peyton Manning's a GOAT as well, in their own. They all have their different talents and strengths. Thank you, Pooh-Man, for dropping Tierra's link. Under center only works if you have reputable running game. And see, this is why erroneously I told y'all the other day. You see under center more in college football than you do in the NFL. That's why most are in shotgun. I'm so tired of hearing about this under center shotgun conversation with these with analysts bringing that up. I mean, and I'm not saying this is Adam Schefter's fault, obviously, but it's being talked about because of that report, because of that anonymous source. That anonymous source claimed that Jalen Hurts argued with wanting to be lined up under center.
I think taking apart a guy that's had a lot of success in this league. I don't quite get it.
It happens a lot, though. It feels like it's always happening. People, what we were saying yesterday is it seems like people are way too comfortable talking about bad about the franchise quarterback. Now, you can read that a couple different ways. Are they way too comfortable because they know everybody else feels the same way they feel? So they're like, hell, I'll be the one that anonymously says it, I guess, which I hate.
Quan, you said that Hurts' numbers are actually lower in shotgun. Take that with a grain of salt, right? Because sometimes the QB runs. Like, there's stats that are going to take away from you having the passing yards, like in shotgun formation.
Even though you make a living off it, I understand that. I don't really love anonymous sources killing somebody in the same building that they're working for, especially whenever that one guy and what he does on the field helps everybody else's resume out a lot and everything. So I don't love the anonymous source. This guy's the worst, even though
we're not using I'm not using anonymous sources to attack and malign somebody's character, Pat.
True, yeah, you're breaking news, you're saying. Yes. I got it. Yes,
and
that's
see,
what I'm saying. Okay.
Point. This is what I was telling you all yesterday is I don't have an issue with the source remaining anonymous. I don't have an issue with what was being reported when it comes to these people have to keep their jobs, right? They have to keep their jobs going, but they also can't burn bridges with each other, because if they do, then how is this person breaking the news? So I get wanting to remain anonymous. I get that the person needed to, break the news like this. But it was what was said. It was what was being reported that I don't agree with. I don't have a problem with you breaking news and information. It's just when it slanders someone's character, that's when it becomes a problem. I don't see the point of it.
So there is a separation. So you probably heard me say this yesterday, or somebody said this before, where it's like, hey, anonymous sources in sports are crazy. I get like anonymous sources in politics and shit because people could die. Okay, and like think the world's gonna happen, but in like sports, nobody's gonna be dying from anonymous sources. I don't think. I mean, I would assume not. So whenever like it's an anonymous source in a building killing somebody, that's what you're saying. Like, hey, let's make sure we separate the two from news.
I don't love that. That just speaking makes me uneasy when we're using anonymous sources.
I did Google Jalen Hurts. I asked Google. I said, is Jalen Hurts better in shotgun formation or under center? It says Jalen Hurts has historically been more comfortable and effective in the shotgun formation, which aligns with his college experience and his time as a starting quarterback in the NFL, where he leverages a dual threat ability. And this is what I'm saying. I don't see a problem with him being in shotgun formation because he's a dual threat quarterback. What are we talking about here? People love a dual threat quarterback, someone who can make plays on the run and pass. Why are you just wanting him to line up under center? I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, it does say this. However, the Philadelphia Eagles have increasingly utilized him under center. This is probably what he's struggling with is in 2024 to 2025, they started trying to utilize him under center. Clearly, there must have been issues with this. It was said that it was used to enhance the play action passing game and improve running game efficiency. Let's see what else it says. Under center effectiveness. In 2025 season, the Eagles saw success expanding their under center offense, especially for play action. What are we talking about here? It's basically saying that Jalen Hurts can do both. So what are we saying? What are we talking about here? Whoever made these claims, I don't agree with that person, whoever made these claims. Because it's basically telling me right now that Jalen Hurts has been effective being in shotgun formation, but he's also shown being effective in under center. Granted, you can take that with a grain of salt too, right? Because it wasn't the most successful season this past season. You've seen struggles with it. Could it be just because you're trying to put him in like under center instead of like shotgun? Like, why don't we just go back to shotgun if that's what works? I don't see a problem with shotgun formation. Stop trying to make something happen that's not working. Y'all got me ranting. I'm ranting all over again about this. But it does say, and it's not like Jalen Hurts wasn't effective, right? Jalen Hurts was effective being under center. That's my little rant. They were trying to free up Saquon because the O-line was trash. See? They had to make those. I get why they had to make those adjustments, right? Because, talking about the O-line, it was bad. It was really, really bad. And you had Landon Dickerson out. You had, I believe it was Johnson. See, I get why they had to make changes. But it's not like Jalen Hurts wasn't successful in it. He might not have agreed with it or wanted to do it, but I can't blame him when he's seen more success being in shotgun formation. Erroneously, different sport in different eras, like ChelseaLynnNC said in the other live. Sports medicine has, improved. Yeah, the advancements, y'all know I talk about it all the time. The advancements of sports medicine and physical therapy is elite now. Like, it's the best it's ever been. So your recovery is way better than what it was in the past. The only thing I will say is you have to take into consideration, is it a re-injury on the same knee? Like, if we're talking about ACLs, right? Which is common. If it's an ACL injury in the same knee, that's a problem. If you're constantly having issues with staying healthy, then we can talk. But for the most part, you have a really, the longevity of an NFL career is getting longer now than what it was in the past. And Brady played multiple more seasons with, are you talking about, okay, you're talking about Manning and them again. Google also says Hurts under center averages more yards with a higher QBR. And you have to take those stats with a grain of salt, right? So even though you're seeing those stats, he didn't win a Super Bowl with it. So he won a Super Bowl, I want to say he won a Super Bowl in shotgun formation. I'm going to Google to be sure. Did Jalen Hurts win a Super Bowl in shotgun formation? Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl in shotgun formation. I thought that's what it was. So even though you're seeing those stats where he did have like good success with that, he didn't win a Super Bowl with it. He won a Super Bowl with shotgun formation. So you have to take stats with a grain of salt. I do think it gives you part of the picture, but it's not giving you the full picture. You have to look at game footage. You have to look at the overall success, like the wins, losses, and like, did you win a Super Bowl with that? I think is a big one in this case because Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl in shotgun formation. So you have to play to QB's strengths. And this is what we talked about with Kyler Murray as well. Kyler Murray, I think he has a chance of being successful, but you have to play to his strengths. If they can play to his strengths, build an offense around him, he stands a good chance of making a good comeback. But if you don't play to those strengths, of course you're not going to find success in it.
To talk about somebody's character, or if they want to go on the record and say, I think this guy's a jerk, hey, we'll quote you, no problem. But it's hard in my mind.
Yes.
I don't think it's really fair to have anonymous sources questioning somebody's character.
And
now,
this is why I like Adam Schefter. This is why I like his reporting. Because you're not going to see that. You're not going to see him report on something where they're slandering somebody's character and they're remaining anonymous. Now, obviously, Adam Schefter will report anonymous sources, but it's not going to be reports of somebody, like, degrading their character.
if there are a lot of people and you want to write a news story saying there are multiple people that believe this guy's a jerk, he's rubbed people the wrong way, and give a specific example, okay, I mean, there are examples and ways in which you can do it. But to quote somebody like this guy's a jerk, I don't know. I don't love it.
There's been places, and once again, my name's on the show, so I can only speak from my perspective of things, which people get really mad about. But it's like legit. There's articles written about me where they get an anonymous source, and I'm like, I know who you just went to get that. So, like, you did that on purpose. Like, this is a clear. I know who said that, so you might as well just write who said that in the entire thing.
See, Pat McAfee brings up a good point. Jalen Hurts could very well know. The entire Eagles locker room very well could know who leaked that information, who that anonymous source is.
That's what really amplified it. It's like, okay, so you're just going to say you can't say who I am, but then just make up a bunch of stuff out of context that isn't true. It's like, that's disgusting. I don't think that is how it's supposed to be. But on that note, we've amplified it. We all have, and it's because it's huge news. It's a Super Bowl MVP,
and like you said, and it happens.
Obviously, this is something that has to be reported and talked about whenever you're having breaking news information. Like, it's unfortunate that it's about this, but that's just part of it. I will say that I am interested to see what Jalen Hurts has to say. You know he's going to come with it. He don't pay attention to the rat poison. He's not paying attention to that. You know you're going to get a good Nick Saban-ish quote from Jalen Hurts if he does give his thoughts on this. Ooh, great question. Pooh, man, this is one of my favorite questions. I love this question. So I would go Marcus Spears. He played for LSU under Nick Saban. He was a part of the SEC network and obviously on ESPN as an analyst. But he's one of my favorites. He's kind of cut back because his kids are involved in sports. His daughter playing volleyball at Texas, and then his son is like a highly sought after basketball player. So, what's up? What's king to a god? Good to see you. But I would say Marcus Spears, Mina Kimes, Alyssa Lang. Y'all might not be familiar with Alyssa Lang. She's on the ESPN network. And who else? Those are my top 3. Oh, I do like Dan Orlowski. I like Dan Orlowski a lot. I think he gives knowledge. Now, do I think he says some crazy things? Of course. But for the most part, he does watch a lot of footage to back up what he's saying. So I do like Dan Orlowski. Ryan Clark is alright, too. He's not my absolute favorite, but I don't... Oh, Desmond Howard. How could I forget Desmond Howard? Desmond Howard, I like him on College Game Day. But I would say my top 3 is going to be Marcus Spears, Mina Kimes, and Alyssa Lang. Dano, yeah. Dano. Yeah, Marcus Spears is a former Cowboy. That's the truth. He is. Okay, y'all, okay, on this note, talking about everything going on with Jalen Hurts. Y'all remember I brought up Tony Romo. I said Tony Romo had this amazing quote of how reporters are, how they always have to have something to talk about. It's just part of the business. I think this goes along very well with what's said.
That matters is if you win. I mean, it's funny, but everyone can talk till they're blue in the face, say you can't win a playoff game or you can't do this until you win one. And then what do they say? Well, then there's going to be something else. And then, I mean, what with Eli? Well, is he good enough to win a second Super Bowl? Well, I mean, it's like, come on. I mean, you're just going to keep doing it over and over again. Yeah. That's sports. That's what makes it fun for people to read, and that's what makes it fun for people to try and win. That matters is if you win.
So, it's the truth. But it's always going to be a continuous cycle. They're always going to have something to talk about. Even though Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, they have to have the next thing to talk about, right? We've seen it with Eli Manning. Like, can he win? Like what Tony Romo was saying. Oh, well, he won one Super Bowl, but can he win another? Then you get the comparison to Peyton Manning. Like, there's so many different things. It even happened with Tom Brady. Like, they've talked about Tom Brady before. It's always going to happen in sports. So, it's unfortunate that some of it's negative like that, but don't be surprised when you see it. Okay, what's next? Go back to this screen here. See what I have planned for. So, I talked about, oh, wow, y'all. Eli Manning has such a punchable face. Every time I think about Eli Manning, I think about his face when Peyton Manning won that Super Bowl again. Like, the face of disgust. You know what I'm talking about. I need to clip that. I need to get that on here. But y'all, there's some big news right now, and it's with Puka Nacua. And I'm sure you guys have heard by now that Tiger Woods is seeking help, which honestly kind of surprised me with Tiger Woods. I thought maybe he would wait because I was afraid a court system would look at that and take that as a consciousness of guilt. I hope that doesn't hurt him with like the court system, but we'll see. Let me add this clip real quick because y'all know I was behind getting here today. But this Puka Nacua mess is wild to me. I was just not expecting this information. And I think it was maybe on Real to Sports whenever I was a guest on their channel. We were talking about like our top wide receivers. Game on the line, who do you want to catch it? And I had a hard time picking one because I really don't have an absolute favorite. But with Puka Nacua, he got brought up. But I'm glad I didn't pick Puka Nacua on that list because now he's having trouble.
Biggest news of the day: Puka Nacua checked into rehab
All right. Let me add the sound and we'll be ready to go.
After allegedly having a drunk New Year's Eve bite attack and whatnot with a woman. Puka Nacua reportedly checked into rehab in Malibu amid the recent allegations. His attorney told the California Post that that he's actually been there for a substantial period of time and plans to be there for a while longer as well. Fellas, how do we feel about Puka checking into rehab,
So
getting help?
apparently there was an attack with a girl, something to do with biting. And after that incident, he checked himself into a rehab and has been there for some time.
That maybe he feels like he needs.
I knew this. I knew this last week.
Yep.
Called me, told me.
He played for like 12 years in the league. I think he was a wide receiver. I think he played for the 49ers. I could be wrong, but I can't remember his name.
Called you. Yeah, and I told him that's good. You need something, let me know. We communicate. And so when he told me this, I was like, good, it's about time. Just make sure when you're in there, you're making the most of it. Don't just be in there to be in there. Make sure you're a better Puka when you come out. Puka he's not a good person. He a great person, man.
Around DC, Pooh Man is a Tom Brady fan. He's a big Brady fan.
Want to do his last smile and have fun. And I just think everything that has come at him in such a short period of time, because when you say Puka, everybody knows who you're talking about now. That just got to step away. And really now, who in your corner? Who really wants to see you succeed and be successful? Because when we on the come up, everybody want us to get to the top. And then as soon as we get to the top, everybody want to pull us down.
Ooh, that's bars. I should use that as a motivational quote one day, or a motivational video. You have to be careful with who you surround yourself with, because not everybody wants to see you win. Some people want to bring you down. They secretly act like they're rooting for you, but behind closed doors, they're hoping you fail. They're hoping they do better than you. They don't want to see you win. And it's unfortunate, but you have to be careful with who you surround yourself with, because they will tear you down so fast given the chance.
And so you got to be with the people that's happy to see you there, even though they not there. And when they not there, they want to pull you down. And so, yeah, Puka called me. He let me know. And I was happy for him, because I had been telling him, like, maybe you don't have to check in or something, but start talking with somebody. And he took it a step further, and he did this on his own. He did this on his own. Nobody told him he did this on his own.
I love this. I love this by Puka. We have to start praising humans, athletes, celebrities, people of influence when they actually do the responsible thing. If you gonna knock Puka for acting wildly, erratically, drinking publicly, whatever the case may be, then applaud him when he goes out there and seeks and gets the help on his own fruition, by the way. Team didn't do this.
I'm big on this. Innocent until proven guilty. And the criticism of athletes. Don't be overly harsh towards these athletes. They are human beings just like you. They make mistakes just like you and me. Like, we have to accept the fact that people we may look up to are going to fail. So I think I'm okay with this. Like, I'm okay with what Ache was saying here. I think you do need to applaud them when they get it right, when they get the help they need. And you think about Puka Nacua and now Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is getting the help he needs. And you wish them the best on that. Or you should, at least. Not everybody's, like I said, not everybody is going to